Well, I don't give a shit. Because if people don't like me because of the way I talk or think, that's their business. See what I'm saying? That's their business. Like, it's your business. I ain't mad at you if you don't like me. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, it's your business. It's not my business. The question is why do people care? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they need your validation. They want you to like me because they don't like themselves. So they're looking for everybody else to validate their value. Am I cool? Am I good? You like me?
Did I make it?
Am I right? Huh? You know, I don't do that.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
The day I met Bullhorn Betty and Jonathan Lee Riches, they were protesting in front of the Laundries home. I began to document them, and little did I know, the three of us would spend the next few months traveling together. Nothing scares us, even if it means crossing a freezing cold river and getting wet. We put our lives in danger because we want to find answers. It gives us purpose, even if it means going undercover to get those answers, or visiting the scene of a crime and paying our respects. Searching for the truth isn't easy. It gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you see things in a different perspective. And it's this perspective that we want the world to see. At the end of the day, we fight for justice. We fight for those who don't have a voice. We fight for those who were silenced.
Three places that you can stay for absolutely free. 3 of them. You ain't got to pay a doggone thing. Hear me. Understand that you can stay out my face for free. You can stay out my business for free. And you can stay out my way for free. Those things won't cost you a doggone thing. 3 places you can stay for absolutely free. Thank you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
I hope you guys are having a beautiful Monday, Manic Monday. I got plenty of rest yesterday, by the way, if anybody's asking. Got plenty of rest. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. While I had a creeper, by the way. I had a creeper while I was resting. Many of you guys know we've been following the Michael Monkey Vaughn case for quite some time. This was going on back when Summer Wells was going on. Summer Wells was a missing 5-year-old blonde hair, blue-eyed girl from Rogersville, Tennessee. And then about 45 days later, another blonde hair, blue-eyed boy from Fruitland, Idaho disappeared. Summer Wells case really picked up a lot of traction. So did the Michael Vaughn case, just not to the magnitude that it possibly could have. And there was a lot of speculation early on because a lot of us, let's be honest, we deal with statistics. A lot of the statistics in these disappearing cases are alarming. They're, we think more in lines of stranger danger and, the ST world and things of that nature. But those are so low statistically that it's not even funny. It is more parental abductions, more, somebody that they know, things of that nature. This is one of those cases that it was all, people had made their decision. It was either they really believed these parents or they didn't. And I'm talking about Brandy Neal and Tyler Vaughn. Everybody started speculating. And neighbors came out and said, we saw him out of the house. We saw him walking down the road. I kept listening and, I was listening. And even during the Summer Wells case, I was like, look at Brandy. Look at the difference between Brandy and Candace. Now it's look at the difference between Brandy and Leilani. There was a time when I was just curious because it's like, what did happen? I knew Brandy was at work. So I knew in the grand scheme of things, she couldn't have possibly been involved in this at all. She seemed to me early on like a go-getter, like somebody who really didn't. She looks like a mama bear. You don't screw with her children. You don't screw with that lady's children, right? So she appeared to be almost like a mama bear. So the idea, the thought of Tyler being responsible for this, we're looking at statistics. Yes, it does look like there is a huge possibility that was there. But there's usually underlying issues that I could not find. Usually underlying issues is a lot of abuse, a lot of drug use, all these telltale signs that, maybe the parents weren't the best parents in the world. Maybe it was, look at Leilani's past, look at Don Wells and Candace's past, look at Billy Joe's past, right? And when you look at these people's past, you really don't find a whole hell of a lot. Hell, even in Truth Finder, they mistaken Tyler Vaughn with his father twice. So, and that's the way it is across the board, even at other, what's another one that's really good? Been Verified. Same problems they were having. So not a lot of criminal activity with this entire family. Definitely no abuse, no CPS calls. There's not a whole lot here with this family. But this family was being crucified. Let me get through some of the chats here. Hey, all. And you know something? Like, there are some things going around. If you guys had an opportunity to watch it, it's on private right now for other reasons, not because I'm highly embarrassed or anything of that nature of me, you know, talking to my audience about things that are going on in my life and things that I'm not embarrassed of that. And they're talking about a drink. I was absolutely right. I was drinking, but being a drunken slob, quite frankly, I was on live for over 3 hours, right? It was literally over 3 hours. And so, yes, I drank a bottle of wine. So by the end, you know, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on. And Michael Vaughn's what tipped it over, right? Because I was just meeting with his mom, you know, not even 60 days ago. And one of the questions I asked, which was the most heart-wrenching question I could ever ask a mother, is this: do you believe your child's, you know, still here? And she said yes. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, maybe we'll get something. Maybe we'll get somewhere. You know, these tractor trailers are going all over the country with his face on it. You know, maybe we'll get somewhere. Maybe this truly is, you know, somebody that just was looking for a kid, you know, that the best possible scenario could happen. You know, you tell yourself that. It doesn't look like that this day. So what is the breaking news on this? It is Sarah's charges. Holy crap. Holy crap. Everybody, we have 738 people in the room right now. Go out there and thumbs this up. When you come back in, thank you, Natalie. When you come back in, we're going to talk about her charges. I don't know how many of you guys have heard what she's being charged with or what she was charged with, but I just found this out just a few minutes ago and why I decided to go early on my live. And I have confirmed it. It is confirmed. You're about to hear the confirmation of her charges. Well, thank you. I literally have nothing on my face except a little bit of eyeliner. But again, I've rested. I'm a well-rested Bullhorn Betty. I don't think I was ready to come back, to be honest with you. I don't think I had enough downtime coming back from Chatham County, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think I should have taken more leisurely time for myself. But even when I got here, you know, I'm a workaholic. I literally work nonstop from morning, noon to night. I work. And it's just, you know, every now and again, you just need to go let your hair down. You know, I've been working for months nonstop. And this case, you know, I was hoping that I was just now starting to broadcast some of the stuff that we had on it. And it just took a horrible turn. It just took a horrible turn. I'm hopeful that if this is the right thing, then they're going to get, you know, they're going to get justice for their son. You know, I hope. Do I want this to be him? No. Do I want this to be over for the family? Yes. But if it means the reality of this, then no. It's like, you know, it's that double-edged sword we talk about. It's hard. It's hard. You know, so much stuff. I kind of beat myself up a little bit because I've been sitting on these interviews for a couple of months. I haven't had time. That's the reason why I'm rolling them out. I still haven't had time to do the videos. The video editing, guys, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And that is the one thing I have not had. I have all this great content and I can't even put it into videos. That's why I show you guys raw stuff right from the Bullhorn Betty channel with no clips, no stuff, like raw stuff, because I don't have time to edit it, but I want to get it out. And I feel bad because I know what Brandy has gone through. And trust me, everybody knows what I do and how I do it. Everybody knows. Okay. It's not a state secret. It's not a national secret. I have a lot of strategies I use in going into these counties, and those cannot be mimicked by any other YouTuber. They can't. They can be tried, but they'll never be mimicked. My strategies are my strategies. It was collected by the originals. You know, we designed this. This is what we do. Okay. In this case, if I truly believed Brandy or Tyler were involved in this case, if I truly in my heart and soul believed it, I would have been out there with my bullhorn when we went out there in September. I had doubts when I went out there of their involvement. Was it a possibility? Of course, I had to look at that avenue. I had to look at the avenue, even with the babysitter in Quinton Simon. Everybody's like, I can't believe you're attacking the babysitter. I'm not attacking the babysitter. But she is somebody that's around the boy. She has to be looked at. If I just said, oh, I don't feel like this person did anything, let me look over here because I don't feel that they did anything. What? I can't go based off feelings. Do I like Diana? Yes. If I thought she abused that child, would I associate with her? No, I'd be exposing her like I am Leilani and Billy Joe. When have you heard me come out with jaw-dropping information about Tyler, Vaughn, or Brandy Neal? Never. Never. And it's like you just, and even when I came out and said, even Dolly, he ran all of his content first and said, we don't believe. He mimicked my beliefs. We don't believe that this family had anything to do with it. We really believe that this was an abduction. We believe it. Why do we believe it? Because we went out there and we actually we talked to people that saw both of them that day. We saw, we talked to a woman that has been unidentified that actually saw Brandy frantically searching at the water pad for her kid. Now we're coming, listening to devastating news upon devastating news about this case. And here we've got almost 1,000 people in this chat. Again, if you have not liked it, please go out there and like this video now. Because I've got them confirming this online right now. Let me make sure I'm still good on my, of course not. Hold on, let me check this box, check that box, and I'll be right back with you. Okay. So for those that are just tuning in, we are going to be going and rolling with this footage. Let me go ahead and share my screen. This footage here. All right.
For calling the Payette County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please select from the following options. If you know the 4-digit extension, you may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
Okay, well, Stacy has not been arrested, it's only Sarah.
Okay, and what's her charges?
Failure to report death to law enforcement and coroner.
All right.
That's all it is.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yes, guys, you heard that correctly. You heard that correctly. She has been charged with failure to report a death to the police and coroner. As you heard, Stacy has not been charged. So what does this mean? Does this mean that she acted alone? Does this mean that she watched something happen to that little boy and the reason why they haven't charged Stacy with it is because they're still building a case against him? She has been charged. Her official charge is failing to report a death to the police and coroner. That is her official charge. So, and I just want to thank that there was that Eastern Idaho News that was in here that tried to get a hold of me desperately this morning. Just thank you for the heads up. She's the one that notified me to call Payette County. And B. Rando, if you haven't heard, they're digging up the backyard of a neighbor that's about a 4-minute walk from their house. And I do have to tell you, I'm going through my content right now to see if I ran into that lady. I don't think the face doesn't look familiar to me, But I know we peppered that entire community, especially the ones in the back, because we had already had received a tip. Now that hindsight's 2020, right? I can tell you guys this. We did receive a tip to check the back community. That's why we were back there. We weren't given a name, but we did know of some non-compliant neighbors. And hey, Lex, nice to see you. And by the way, all for being here. Thank you guys so much. This channel has been growing leaps and bounds. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel, please go out there and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to put your bell on all. I've heard from several people, including Justice for All, as well as Dolly, that there's something going on with an update with YouTube. I know people are feeling it. If you guys have been had your account improperly taken, you have to go to a desktop and appeal the decision. And I behoove everyone to appeal the decision as opposed to allowing somebody to take your channel. We also are having notification issues. So people aren't being notified of these lives. For those that are just coming in, we are going to go over the information again. So just sit tight. Don't forget to like this. But we do have some breaking information about Sarah Wondra. This is the wife half of the house that the backyard is being dug up in. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Did I see somebody say it, Miss Robin? Miss Robin, good morning. I hope you're feeling better. If Emma is in the house, I hope you're feeling better. To all of my mods, Susanna, I see you. I am Team Summer. Nice to see you guys. Thank you guys for all being here. But I definitely want you guys to understand that this I don't understand. So Stacy hasn't been charged with anything connected to a crime related to a body. There you are, Emma. Nice to see you, babe. I hope you're feeling well as well. So I'm just going to play this for you guys again for those that are just coming in and tuning in. This is the newest information that I've been able to confirm with law enforcement related to the Wondras. I can get it. There we go.
Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please select from the following options. If you know the 4-digit extension, you may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
Okay, well, Stacy has not been arrested. It's only Sarah.
Okay, and what's her charges?
Failure to report death to law enforcement and coroner.
All right.
That's all it is.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Again, failure to report a death to the sheriff and coroner. That's what Sarah has been charged with. Stacy has not been charged. So what does all this mean? Like, I'm more confused now that she's been charged than before she wasn't. Well, now listen, this is the low-hanging fruit. This is how law enforcement is done. This is the difference between a good law enforcement agency such as Fruitland, Idaho Police. Now, remember, a bumpkin of a sheriff's department or a police station, right? It's like backwoods bumpkin, right? People always talk about that. Well, let me tell you, he's got his shit together. Excuse my language, but he does. Let's be honest. JD Huff, I said that from the beginning. I like the guy. He looks nice. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He had that calming. He was a very calming, and I compared him because at that time I had to compare him between him and Ronnie Lawson. And I said, look at their differences, right? Look at how JD Huff handles stuff and how Ronnie Lawson handles stuff. Ronnie Lawson was just nasty to people, where you had JD Huff saying, you know, we want all the community help, all the community support. I can tell you that I didn't notify him when I was there, that I was there, and he still welcomed me into his community. He didn't know what the hell I was going to be doing, right? Nobody really knows, right? Actually, they do. They just have to watch a live, and I usually tell exactly what I'm doing. But you know, he was a very nice guy. But even when he was on his press conferences, you have to understand this was a case that YouTube got a hold of as well. So his phones were probably ringing off the hook with every single person, just like in every other case that we cover, where people are asking, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? Did you think of this? Did you think of that? You know, nothing really useful, just a lot of, did you think to do this, right? That's what they have to go through a lot of the time. It is, we know it, that's what they have to go through, because I've talked to law enforcement officers in these cases, these specific cases we cover. Yes, I've talked to law enforcement, active detectives working the cases in some cases, right? So I know that that's been the one thing that like really gets under their skin, because of course they've done this. A lot of people are like, did you bring out helicopters? Let me tell you guys something about these helicopters. That is a make you feel good move. Helicopters literally produce less than 5% results. So you're talking about every time they take a helicopter up there, it's $20,000 with such low possibilities of results, right? Because think about it. If they're up, can you imagine what a 5-year-old boy looks like in the sky? I mean, think about it when you're in a plane. Can you really see the visibility on the ground? You can't. You put a lot of forestry in there, and you have next to zero visibility whatsoever. So to me, and I say this with all the love, but to me, helicopters are a waste of money in these types of cases. You need on-the-ground searches. On-the-ground searches. This is my opinion. Just my opinion. People may like it. People may hate it. Just my opinion. But they did everything that they could do. But he always was very welcoming to people. He was welcoming to anybody that wanted to come help, anybody that wanted to go out there and search. He did not sit there and say, oh, those damn YouTubers are making our lives a living hell. No, he worked within the system he was given. And he did it beautifully, and he did it successfully. Now, does this mean this is all done? No, it doesn't. This may be somebody else. Let's be honest. It could be. It could be. We have nothing, but we do know JD Huff has come out and specifically told us that this is definitely 100% related to Michael Vaughn and his disappearance. And that scared the shit out of me. Let me be honest. That scares me. It scares the crap out of me. I was hopeful that this boy was kidnapped and still alive. And, you know, however, we know, going back to those darn statistics, we knew that every day that he was missing, his statistics of arriving home were fading. We knew that. And Brandy, if you're watching, this is probably not the one that you need to be watching. It's really not, because I can't imagine what you're going through. But this man, let me tell you about what JD Huff did. JD Huff had this person of interest, Stacy Wondra, in jail since April or May, I believe. I can't remember the specific date. I know you guys are more up on that than I am. But think about it. Not one word was like, oh, well, you know what? We have prime suspects over there off of Red Wing Avenue, but we're not going to arrest them. We're not going to arrest them at all, because we need to dot our I's and cross our T's in this very specific case. Did you hear JD Huff say that? You know what he didn't do? He didn't identify a damn suspect. And he actually had the people in jail before he did. Just saying. No charge Hadley. Take note. Take note how this is done, please. Take note how this is done. Because you know what he had him in jail for? The guy tried to sell a gun to a pawn shop. They arrested him on that. Can you imagine how shitty of a charge that is, or having a gun in a pawn shop, and they've had him in jail ever since? And you've got Leilani Simon that has abused her children multiple times, all of them, I presume even Sky, and not one charge. Not one. She was named a suspect early on. Why? I don't know. All this chaos around Leilani and Billy Joe is the doing of their own police chief. It really is. It's the doing of their own police chief that caused all this chaos. For those that are just tuning in, we have almost 1,400 people in the chat. I'm Bullhorn Betty. If you're meeting me for the first time, go ahead, go out there and like this segment. We're going to go over some, I've already played it twice. Since we got more people in here, we're going to go ahead and play it again. But don't forget to go out there and like this channel. If you have not subscribed to me, please subscribe. If you want to know how we do what we do, it's because of each and every one of you. So if you guys would like to sponsor our next trip, there's several of them coming up. Please consider making a donation to the Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. As many of you guys know, I travel all over the country. With a great group of other people, other YouTubers that are covering these cases. And they just have their heart in it, right? This is not easy stuff. It's hard. It does affect all of us. Some of the stuff that we have to review on this side of the screen that we can never show you is something that would make normal people go to counseling. You know, I was just talking to my mom about that this morning. It's like, hey, you know, this stuff is rough. You know, we see some pretty rotten stuff that we can never, ever in a million years show you here on YouTube, ever. But we have to look at it so we can explain or have knowledge, especially about decomposition and stuff like that. That is one of the worst things any human being can study, in my opinion, if you don't want to have nightmares. So you guys are all coming back. Don't forget to, again, like, share, and subscribe this channel. And I'm about to play it now. Get back here to the beginning. There we go. I'm pulling it up now.
Calling the Payette County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please select from the following options. If you know the 4-digit extension, you may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
Oh, and before we go on, Blondie UK, this is more of an assumption being made. And I never even said anything about this, but the reason what made us make this assumption is let's look at the facts, the actual facts of this, and see what you deduct from that. The actual facts of this are that J.D. Huff, the police chief of Fruitland, Idaho, has come out and told us that they have credible evidence, very significant evidence that brought them and led them to that home. They have evidence that has allowed them to get a subpoena from the courts to dig up a warrant, not a subpoena, a warrant from the courts to dig up that backyard in search of Michael Monkey Vaughn. That came out of the police chief's mouth. That house is Stacy and Sarah Wondra's home that they're searching. Sarah was picked up yesterday and booked into Payette County Sheriff's Department on charges of failure to report a death to the sheriff or the coroner. So that's where we got to, how do we know this charge is related to the little boy? It's because J.D. Huff has actually told us that. Now, it doesn't say she was charged with the failure to report Michael Monkey Vaughn, but when you take the warrant, the search, what the police chief has said, and now her charges, I think we can all paint the picture of who this is related to. Just my opinion. Maybe you come to a different conclusion than that, and that's okay. But that is my conclusion that I've made for me personally. Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
Stacy has not been arrested. It's like Sarah.
Okay, and what's her charges?
Failure to report death to law enforcement and coroner.
All right.
That's all it is.
Thank you very much. So again, that's what it is. Failure to report a death to law enforcement and the coroner. Again, how do we know this is related to this little boy? Well, in the grand scheme of things, we don't. It didn't say to Michael Vaughn, right? But this is the house, the backyard of the Wondras that is being dug up. It's the one that Police Chief J.D. Huff has identified as having probable cause, and great probable cause, enough to get a search warrant to dig up somebody's yard. Do you guys know how hard it is to get a search warrant to dig up somebody's yard? You have to have substantial and overwhelming evidence, a probable cause rather, to get a warrant like that. I mean, you're talking about a major undertaking to have done. So again, we have confirmed that Sarah Wondra, which is a little odd, and I want to open the phone lines up and get your opinion on it, because this is where I get confused. Why is Sarah being charged with this type of crime? She isn't. And I also have their social medias, and I know other people have gone over their social medias and how weird it is, but I kind of have a different interpretation of a few things in there that I have not heard. Now, maybe somebody has covered them, because as many of you know, I don't watch a whole lot of other YouTubers. I mean, I have my select group of people that I watch, I support. You guys know who they are because I traveled the country with them. And so, you know, I really try to stick there. I don't listen. I used to go out and listen to opposition people, but I don't like it, because it's not productive for me, right? It's not productive for me. I guess that's the way it is, because I'm still taking somebody else's opinion. Is that what I'm reading? Or when I listen to their opinion, am I starting to read things differently? Am I starting to doubt the work that I do? You know, so I have to make a decision. We have almost 1,800 people in the chat. I know the people that have been here earlier. You guys have probably already heard this clip several times, but I do want the new people that are just coming into the chat to be able to hear this clip. Again, this is Payout County. This is Fruitland, Idaho is a city inside of a county, and the county is Payout County. I got notification a little bit ago that there are some very bizarre charges for Sarah, and I needed to check them out. And so I called up there and checked them out, and it was from a good-hearted person here, right here in the chat room, that was trying to get a hold of me early on. I did connect with her, and it led me to call Payout County to find out what Sarah was charged with, and Stacy. What we found out is Stacy hasn't been recharged. So that means when he was charged back in April or May with the gun charges, he's been sitting in jail this entire time on those gun charges. And then something happened. Did he spill the beans while he was in court or in jail? Did somebody infiltrate the jail cell and become a snitch? I don't know what happened, but apparently some new information, credible information, came into the Fruitland PD department, and they acted on it. They got the necessary warrant to go there, and they also made an arrest yesterday while they were there searching. Maybe it was the day before yesterday, because I was in bed a lot of the day yesterday. So it might have been the day before. Either way, Sarah was charged. Here's what she's charged with.
Calling the Payette County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please select from the following options. If you know the 4-digit extension, you may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
Stacy has not been arrested. It's only Sarah.
Okay, and what's her charges?
Failure to report death to law enforcement and coroner.
All right.
That's all it is.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So failure to report a death to law enforcement and the coroner. So they're charging her with they must, and think about it, you know, the dot the I's, cross the T's that we hear from No Charge Hadley. And you have this, there's no body. They haven't even found what they believe might be Michael. And they're already charging her with failure to report the death. They have substantial and overwhelming evidence to bring the charge. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. They didn't need to dot the I's and cross the T's and put a big bow on a package. What they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up charging them with these charges as their case moves forward and they start having more probable cause to bring other charges. They are going to go to their jail cell. They're going to pull them out of their jail. They're going to take them down to booking, and they're going to charge them with those additional charges. This is what I have been talking about in the Leilani Simon and Quinton Simon case, is because this is what I have been talking about, why she's not in jail and why I am so frustrated, absolutely frustrated with the way Chatham County is handling this. I told the people out there, this, what you're seeing J.D. Huff doing, is the way you do it. And Kiera Cotton, that's it. That was it. Kiera Cotton is the one that I was talking about. Kiera Cotton, she was the one that was arrested in Georgia. Black woman, of course, black woman. But she was the one that was arrested in Georgia before they even found her son's body. And after they arrested her, a few days later, they found his corpse, in the adjacent county. So again, you don't need a body in Georgia to make an arrest. And you know what? She was arrested for, I think it was child abuse, child endangerment, something, before they found the baby. But they got her in jail. So obviously Georgia knows how to do that. It's just whatever's going on in Chatham County, they don't. And it's sad. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the heads up. Hit that like button. Absolutely. Hit that like button. Listen up, people. These are facts. Yeah, they're facts. I mean, and not only that, but see, we were hearing a lot of you guys that are watching. We have 2,000, almost 2,100 people in here. A lot of you guys are new to my channel. You don't know what we did prior to, I would say at least 5,000 of you guys are from Savannah, Georgia. So you guys didn't really know what I did prior to me making it around to Savannah, Georgia. I travel all over the country. I've these active cases, I try to find out as much information because we know mainstream, we have a right to information here in this country. Let me just give you guys a little tidbit of information. We have a right. Just because mainstream media does not give it to us or works with law enforcement to stop the flow of certain information to its public, doesn't mean that information is not rightfully ours to have. So what we do is we go out there and we bring the information back, the information we are lawfully allowed to have, and we bring that back to you. There is nothing that ever prevents me from interviewing anyone, including neighbors, people of that nature. If I have an opportunity to interview somebody, I'm going to interview them if they have anything to do with the case in which I'm researching. So, I understand that some of those things do bother people, but at the end of the day, it is what we do. It's no different. I mean, we do probably provide a little more intel and information and insight than, say, your mainstream media. But again, we don't have people we have to answer to. I'm not, some of these communities are thousands of miles away from my home. The chances of me needing to get an interview with the police chief, next year is probably slim to none. Like I really don't care at that point when I'm talking about these cases about stepping on toes. Thank you for taking my call. This is terrifying, and I'm so scared that this will turn out to be this beautiful baby. And that's, I already that was kind of what was the whole Saturday night thing. I kind of came to, I mean, it all makes sense, to be honest with you. When they started digging up this house and everything, it all makes sense. We had all the information telling us, not necessarily the person involved, but definitely telling us that, there was something going on with a neighbor in the back part of that community. And he's in a different community altogether, but it's all interconnected. Like you have one way in to about 3 or 4 communities back there, and they're all tied to one main road, right? You can't really you have to go out on this road. And I think it's 8th southwest or something like that, and it takes you to the community where Brandy and them was. It takes you to the other side community, and then there's like this elite, like on the very back road. It seems like the nicest of the nicest houses in that community are on that back road under that, they have like a gate or something like that, if I recall correctly. And we did get out. We walked all out back there. We knew that there was something that was amiss back there. We were looking. We were really looking for the white Pilot. But again, this family had a taxi company. Did they? How do we know that it wasn't a rental car that they were using because one of their cars were in the shop? There's something here, or there's something going on. And I can tell you that guy with the dark hair doesn't resemble this Stacy Wondra or Sarah Wondra for that matter. So we're still trying to figure out who that guy is. But we did hear through the grapevine that they had some roommates, and I don't know what that really means. Did they stay there for a significant amount of time? Were they there before Michael went missing? Did they come after Michael went missing? What was the reason for them being there? I don't know. I really don't. So Alexa's saying that 24 plus warrants and more were warranted without being signed with permission. That is insane. I wouldn't be surprised if Stacy dude is one of the snitches or the reliable tip, probably a plea. Yeah, it could very well be, because I hear that this is his second arrest as being a felon in possession of a gun. That's not good. That means he's probably going to get the book thrown at him. And now that he's associated with this, it's possible that his wife did something to this child. I looked at some of the videos that she had early on her TikTok account, and she seemed really bizarre. Like, she was very, very religious, but if you looked at her religious postings, you'd have one every few months. Like from 2019 to 2020, there was maybe 10 videos. Maybe. But after September 2021 on, it seems like she just blew up with all these spiritual videos. I mean, it was really, really bizarre. And I'm pretty sure that they've already discussed this on other channels about their social media profiles, but there's just some really eerie stuff that I haven't heard talk about, and we're going to talk about that now, and then I'll come back to this recording that we have for the police department, Payette County, stating that yes, in fact, there is. Sarah has been charged, and she has been charged with failure to report a death to law enforcement and the coroner. That's some pretty crazy stuff. I've got to be honest with you. It's pretty insane. It really is. Let's see what we got here. Let me just make sure Justin Pack is coming in. HB. Yeah, guys, if you guys haven't liked this, please go out and like. All right, now we have almost 2,200 people in chat. If you are not able to comment in chat, it's most likely because I set the subscriber on one day. It's to help tamper down with the trolls in here. I hope you guys understand, but the people that actually go out and try to help in communities are the ones that are constantly attacked by these people that have to pick everything apart because we're their content, and that's what they do. So it's just one of those things. Buddy, I-21 is so, 729 is so creepy to me. Yes, I know. I see some things and it was like weird stuff. And then not only that, but you know what was also weird is how Sarah wasn't feeling, Sarah, how she was feeling in and around that time, because it looked like literally a day before she had to go to the hospital. The day before he disappeared, she had to go to the hospital. She was having some, cramping, some sharp pains on her side. And I was wondering, did she have a miscarriage? Is this one of those things where she, just recently had a miscarriage and saw a boy just wanting a kid? I don't know what kind of person. And the husband comes home and is like, what the hell are you doing? It could have been one of those things. Well, we can't keep him, we can't send him back home. So, was it one of those? I don't know. But there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Was it them? Or could it have been their roommates? Maybe was that the falling out of these roommates? I don't know. But here's something I found eerie. So I just went into all of his photos. Every photo he has right here. Look at that. Stacy's photos. And look at all these things. And then right in the middle of all these things, who do you see out of all these photos? Just one. Just one. To me, that's creepy. To me, that's creepy. And some of the stuff that he was saying, and I looked at a lot of the posts on Stacy's page, and then we'll go over to Sarah's. But here, let's just keep going. September. So he disappeared July 27th. So if we were looking here, so Stacy's talking about, this is on the day before. I know you guys can't see it and I can't enlarge it much bigger than this, but it says, I'm feeling, this is on the July 26th, the day before Michael Monkey Vaughn disappeared. And it says, I'm feeling worried about my wife, Sarah Ann Wondra. I brought her to the emergency department in Ontario, Oregon. She's not feeling good at all. She's having a lot of pain in her side of her stomach. Please pray for my baby that she feels better. Love you, baby. Feel better. That was the day before. So I don't know what that means, but he took her to the hospital because she was in a lot of pain the day before he went missing. And then you don't see any post on the 27th, but on the 28th, he's posting this observer about the missing 5-year-old boy that's been missing since Tuesday night. And that same day, he's gloating about his wife, who's the most beautiful woman I know and adore. Well, her name is Sarah Ann Wondra. Now, why is he all in love? And you don't see, I mean, he does make comments about his wife here and there, but nothing like this. And if you find it, send it to me prior to this. This is the day after this child disappeared. The day after this child disappeared. And then he goes back on to, being political and stuff of that nature. And then boom, no post. He starts posting on August 1st about Michael. And then 13 days later or 12 days later, his wife's back up on his post. And they're enjoying life all over again as if nothing ever even happened. And I don't remember exactly when everything happened with the Faith Taxi, but I heard Faith Taxi wasn't born until after. I don't know. All I know is that this lady, his girlfriend, which is right here with her tongue out and pierced and looks like, she's a party animal, is some kind of really Christian bumpkin that apparently went full throttle starting September 2021 with her religious beliefs and everything like that. Did she have religious beliefs and weird posts prior to that? Yeah, she did, but not in this volume. Not in this volume at all. Will you drop a link for Justin Bullhorn? Oh, sorry. Yes, I will. I just got to it. Sorry. Justin, come on up. I'm just getting there. Sorry, we're like 20 minutes late. Thank you, ICU. I'm getting to you. Sorry. Yeah, if he wants to come up because I'm telling you, this is just crazy. And to think that this is somebody in that community, like literally somebody in that community that can just go and shoot. And what I'm thinking is I'm looking at the maps. Hold on, let me pull this back real quick. And I'm looking at the maps and I'm wondering how the hell this happened. And I think I know how. Let me get Google Earth up. And I think I've already plugged Michael Vaughn, some stuff in Michael Vaughn. We have almost 2,300 people in the chat. Please go out and be sure to like this channel. I appreciate it. pulling Google Earth up now. All right, let me see my projects. Do I have Michael in here? Oh, I think I heard Justin pop in the back. There you are. Hey, little bug.
Hello,
How are you
hello, hello. Freezing.
You're breaking up. Hold on, let me move mine on.
So
there we go.
You called the it's me. It's me. Hold on. Let me turn my camera off.
Okay.
Let me turn my camera off. It's me. It's not you. Is that better?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So you called the jail and they said that she didn't report a body?
Yeah, they said that a death. That she was charged with failure to report a death to law enforcement and the coroner. That is my understanding. Sorry, I'm trying to find my.
YouTube has been screwing up. It's terrible.
Yeah, I noticed that. I've looked at it myself, and I realized that it's.
They've supposedly been doing like a big update or something, but this morning, like, it didn't give any notifications out, and you couldn't even put a thumbs up on my video.
Wow. All right. Well, we also have Eastern Kentucky News. She's the one that actually told me about this. If she wants to say hi and what she can contribute, that'd be great.
Of course.
Hold on just a second, Justice, and we'll get back to you. Can you hear me? Whitley? I can't hear you. You're muted. She's muted. Sorry. You're muted. So, Justice, what do you think about all this while we wait for her to unmute?
I think it's crazy. I mean, it just seems like, they have to know something, Betty, and they have to know something really significant. I feel like he's getting charges, she's getting charges. She is divorcing him, allegedly. I think that was happening in October. And
whoa. You're saying Sarah and Stacy were getting divorced?
Yes. And so I feel like she's rolling.
Gotcha. Possibility.
Get a lesser sentence.
Hear me?
Yeah. Okay. There you are, Whitley. I heard you.
So yeah, I mean, I checked last night and her charges hadn't been released. And then this morning, and it's like I was telling you, I mean, I went through the death of my own son. So this has been something that I followed very closely. So I called this morning and then they said, yes, she had charges. And I said, what are they? And they said, it's failure to report a death. And I asked them, I said, do you know if this is in connection with Michael Vaughn? And they said, we can't tell you that, it is active. And I said, okay. And then I asked if she had bail. They said, no, she goes to court in the morning. So I'm waiting.
Gotcha. Yeah, because this, I mean, and people are saying, well, it may not be related to him, but it's like, yeah, there's that possibility. It may not, but the probability is that it is related because JD Huff said, we are digging up this backyard in connection with Michael Vaughn. And you have the woman that lives in that home being charged with failure to report a death.
Yeah.
Well, quote, very credible tip.
Right.
And I'm praying, like, guys, you have no idea. I'm praying so hard that this turns out not to be this baby.
Yeah, but how many other children? I mean, Fruitland is not a big place. I was there myself. I mean, this area where they live, yes, there's a lot of, especially on that main road out there, a lot of traffic. But this is not a huge community. I mean, there's a lot of little communities like this that are scattered out throughout this area. But it's not a hustle and bustle type of area. And there's not too many children in this area that are missing. There's not too many missing people in this area, period, child or not child.
Right. Well, there's not too many people in the area, period.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not like it's a densely populated metropolitan, like it's
Right. I mean, it looks like it when you look at this, like here, let me put it up here. When you look at this whole, where is it? There we go. When you look at this whole thing, it looks like it's populated. But this is not very many houses. What you're seeing on your screen is maybe 30 homes, 50 homes. Well, maybe more than that. About 50 or 60 homes here that you're seeing on the screen. It's not really that many. And then you take this out and you see that it's like, look, so there it is. Like you have these communities here.
That's Fruitland right there.
Here, but everything else, I mean, this is it. That's it.
Yeah, and it's a very tight-knit community as well.
Yeah. I spoke to people out here that have lived in this specific community their entire lives and raised their children here.
Betty, I don't mean to change the subject, but did you hear the press update on Quinton Simon just a little bit ago?
I did not.
Okay.
You want to give us that update?
Sure. Give me a second. I'll have to find it. I was live, and then they said that you did this, and then or you had this information, and I was like, "Let's all go over to Betty's."
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Take your time. Take your time. I'm here for a little while.
Yeah. I was live all day yesterday. I'm smack wore out, to be honest with you. I slept like 2.5 hours last night. It just, you know how it is.
Well, you know me. I was in bed all day yesterday. If anybody knows anything about Bullhorn, trust me, if you don't know what happened to me, just go over to the Sob Squad. I'm sure they have a rolling.
God, nobody's worried about them. Ridiculous people. Okay, here we go. Chatham County Police Department. Today we begin another week of searching the landfill of Quentin Simon. The photos and videos we've shared over the last 4 weeks show you what a massive yet painstaking effort this has been for every single person involved. We have asked the team on the search to endure the physical, mental, and emotional burden of reporting to this landfill day after day, knowing that the chance of finding Quentin remains are low. And we are proud of every member of the Chatham County Police Department, FBI, GBI, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, and Georgia Department of Natural Resources who has performed this duty with unmatched professionalism. At this point, we do not have a scheduled end date for the landfill search. Meanwhile, our investigative team continues working diligently to uncover and collect every piece of evidence relevant to this case. And they have this photo. If you want me to share it, I'll
share your screen. I'll bring your screen up.
There you go. That's what that baby's in, Betty.
I know. And the family is now, just put this in perspective. The Quentin Simon family, their immediate family, the day that they went out to this landfill to search for them, they were at a bar doing shots and partying. I just want to put that in perspective for our, that I can tell you is not what Brandy did. No. Brandy was out there searching like crazy for her son, putting up flyers. I guarantee that they told Brandy not to search for her son at the very beginning, and she didn't listen. I guarantee it.
And, Brandy has been a grieving mother. You have, Leilani and all of them partying, worrying about putting fish heads and fish guts in the yard and playing these little games and all of this. But you have, Brandy, a grieving mother, yet still works, still holds down her 3 other children, or her family, and all of that. A huge, huge difference.
Right. Did you stop your chat? I'm just now getting to this Everybody, you guys have to understand, like right now it's 12:36 and I went through a million messages to get to 12:19. So no, I did not ignore Justice.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no,
see
it's
him.
okay. It's okay.
I didn't see him. He knows how it goes when you have this many people.
Trust me. That's what I was telling him in chat. I said, guys, it just zooms.
It zooms by,
just
yes.
can't. When you have this many people, don't take it personally, because even before I was YouTuber, I'd be like, well, that creator didn't look at my message.
Yeah, go through that.
And now I'm like, I really get it. I felt a little bit judgmental towards some creators once upon a time.
Now that you know, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have been like that.
Yeah, I'm like, why aren't they getting to my message? And I'm like, it's just impossible. You just can't.
But getting back, just to redirect just a little bit, getting back to this whole thing, Whitley, do you have any information on Stacy or Sarah other than what we already know?
Just that Stacy's in jail on gun charges. And then my whole issue with this was Stacy's now. So they moved him. I don't know if you know that or not. They moved him day before yesterday, and then all of a sudden they arrested her. I'm wondering if he's rolled on her.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Because he's no longer there.
Weird. There is something weird with this. Like when I called up there, let's just listen to it again, just because we've got a lot of new people here, and I want everybody to be able to hear this real quick. Let me just put this back up. Let me put this back up. I gotta add myself to this. But this is what we heard. This is what we found out. I'm just going to start it here.
This is an emergency. Please hang up and dial 911. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please select from the following options. If you know the 4-digit extension, you may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
And I am going to stop this when it gets to one thing, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll proceed to the rest of it.
Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
Stacy has not been arrested.
So they say right here, Stacy has not been arrested. I'm going to go to you, Whitley, and to find out about your comments on this, because this is the oddity to me. Why is Sarah being arrested for failure to report a death to law enforcement or coroner, but we still have not had a charge for Stacy?
That's what makes me wonder if he's the one that's rolled on her, especially with them going through this divorce. He's already known this for a month now, since this divorce started in October. He's known this was coming. This wasn't anything new.
Right.
So I'm going to keep my thought there, but my belief is he was getting his own butt out of jail.
These are federal charges he's facing.
Correct.
Federal.
Penitentiary time.
Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah. I guess my question would be, if he rolled on her, who initiated the divorce? Was it him or her?
We don't know.
Oh, wow.
I think it was her, because she posted somewhere. I don't remember. I've got it probably somewhere, but she posted somewhere that she was divorcing him. And it was sometimes in October, I think it was.
Yep.
In September was when they both got ultra religious, it seemed to me that she was this religious person prior to, but did not make all these religious postings and stuff until after, like, September-ish. And you started seeing him talking about that as well. Let me see if I can, hold on, let me pull this back. I don't want to have a habit of accidentally doxing people, so I got to be ultra careful on what I do here.
I don't know.
I know I doxed someone.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just saying I doxed one of my friends here the other night, and I felt so bad I put it on private immediately. I still haven't even edited to bring it back up.
Yeah. But see, like, he even got in the beginning of September into another endangered missing person. I mean, it was weird. It's just odd. You don't have any missing person stuff on your site, and then you do. And then this one goes, where was it? It was up here. He starts talking about freedom and God and Jesus, to forgive. He didn't say to be a coward, blah, blah, blah. And then right around, is it here? Yeah, right around, she started posting out religious videos about September 21st. His started coming out September 29th. Today I'm feeling blessed. My heart has been caught in this consuming fire, the fire of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. If any of my friends out there, or if there's anyone in the world who wants to feel the joy and happiness I'm feeling, well, come and let's walk the path together. Don't focus on what you're missing in your life, what you don't have, what you next purchase is. Focus on Jesus. He's the only one we need in this world. And it's like, you know, he goes into this religious saying, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. So whoever believes in him shall not perish, but shall ever have everlasting life. Let's walk this path. So it's like, we didn't hear any of this religious stuff from him. We have a history with Sarah posting stuff in her, like this particular message here was in 2019. So all this is 2019, 2020, and then all of a sudden 2021 hits, and she's September, and she just posts and posts and posts and posts and posts and posts and posts. Now this was her before this. These were the videos that she had posted right here. These little videos over a 2-year period of time, and then boom, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, it is just freaking insane.
Never ending.
So what do you think about that? I mean, that seems like a person that was struggling with something.
Something hard.
What do you think about that, Justice? I know you went over some of these videos about how crazy she, you know, some of the stuff she says. And she even has a GoFundMe right here.
Yep. Yes. It's, you know, there's a reason. I feel like there's some type of guilt that, you know, she is, you know, in my opinion, like, you know, I need to cleanse. All is forgiven, all is well. You know, that's my opinion. But you know, going back to the Facebook, you know, when he also made little Michael a profile picture.
Yeah, I saw that. It was eerie.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Justice. Did you see the picture of their kitchen where they have the flyer of Michael on the refrigerator?
On the refrigerator. Yes.
I got mad.
Yes. It kind of reminds you of that Delphi.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
this is insane. I just keep thinking, what I think is so eerie for me is I know I walked past this stupid house. I know I walked past it. And I have to think that I knocked the door, but nobody answered, but I can't confirm that. I'm going through my videos now to see, because I recorded every house I walked up to.
And, you know, I'm going to say this, Betty. Thank God they didn't. If you did go to that house, thank God you know they didn't answer the door. Anybody that can do this to a baby, an innocent baby, listen, my heart breaks for Brandy in a million pieces. Anybody that can do this to that baby is going to have no problem harming an adult. None.
No. That's what I keep saying about Leilani. She has nothing to lose. I mean, what's stopping her from going out in a blaze of glory? She's loose. These people are loose. They're behind bars, but it's pretty scary to know that how easy it was for a felon to get a gun, to go through the process and lie about his past, and there was no due diligence that he was able to possess a gun not once but twice. That to me is scary. And knowing that he was arrested for a gun, it unnerves me. It unnerves me.
And in public at that, you know, he wasn't arrested at his house with a firearm. He was in public, went to a pawn shop with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like 17 boxes of ammo.
Yes.
But why would he try to get rid of the ammo? You know what I'm saying? Like there's something of evidentiary value with all that.
I mean, that's a little excessive to begin with. And I mean, that's silly. You're a felon, dude. You're trying to get rid of a gun and ammo. Like,
yeah. What was this Melanie was asking? Isn't Dolly in Virginia and Betty in Florida? Yes, that is correct. I reside in Florida. And I'm here, and as you guys could see, I just turned this off because we were having bandwidth issues.
I mean, 17 boxes, that's excessive. Why does someone have
17? People in the country, they have, trust me, and I know this because I was raised by a country man. I know a lot of country bunk people because my roots are Mayaca City, and believe me, 17 boxes of ammunition is light ammunition. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, but to get rid of it all in one, that's what I mean. My dad, he I don't know, he reshelled them. I'll just say that. I don't know if that's the word, but he had a machine.
Yeah, he repacked them. Repacked them.
Yeah, I'm from Kentucky. I mean, you know, we all have guns. We all have ammo. We have a reloading kit actually in our closet.
Yeah.
That part gets me. And I really hope they kept the gun that he was caught with.
Oh, they did. I'm sure it's in evidence.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
an evidence. Absolutely. Yeah.
If he's arrested for it, they went and picked it up.
Like that part bothered me. You know, here he is trying to take a gun in, and now we have a missing baby.
Yeah. And not only that, but let's think about this. If there's got to be some, you know, how do we know that they didn't take that? Because he was arrested many months ago.
Yep.
And it sounds to me like they probably just got the results of some of the forensics that they may have ran. Because, I mean, it takes several months to get that stuff back, even from the FBI. I mean, FBI is used in every single child abduction case and missing child case possible with their CART team and everything else. So and that's around this country. So I know that they have several labs throughout the country, but it's still overwhelmed. So I have to imagine that maybe they tested the gun. Maybe they found something on that gun.
Well, Chief Huff, I mean, he sounds very confident. He says, you know, we got a, quote, very credible tip. And, you know, you've got to have some sort of evidence behind the scenes to convince a judge to go there and, you know, get a warrant and start tearing up Jack. You know what I mean? It's you got to have something pretty good there, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But still,
can we look up what was his charges? Do we know who Stacy is? Has anybody looked into him? I pulled up.
Yeah, I've got his stuff.
You do? I'm gonna pull him up right now.
You know, and I hope and pray Chatham County's looking at the difference between what they've done and what Fruitland's doing, because I'm going to tell you something. Fruitland, hands down, deserves every bit of respect they can be given.
Absolutely. They are incredible. They are absolutely incredible.
Oh, wow. There's only one. Let's see what his criminal history has.
Oh, he's got a huge criminal history.
I've heard there's a book.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
There is. Let me pull up.
Here it is. So, Department of Corrections, insufficient funds. Oh, Oregon State fugitives. So it sounds like they had to go into Fruitland, a couple of those. Weapon unlawful possession by a convicted felon. That was that was his charge right there. April 13th. Let me pull this up. April 13th, 2022 was when he was arrested, and that was the unlawful possession by a convicted felon. It looks like a lot of bad checks. Do we know if there was drug abuse in this household?
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
Because, I mean, people that do insufficient checks and things like that typically have problems, in my opinion. I mean, not everybody has check issues, you know, forgery of checks.
And what was his charge that made him a felon? I mean, it was a convicted felon with a firearm, but what made him a felon? What was the original charge?
That's a good question. I don't see that on here.
I didn't either.
That is a very good question. Maybe they pulled it back. I mean, they do have a lot of stuff that they can do behind the scenes with law enforcement to pull things off of. But you would think that they would have pulled this off too. I don't know. Unclassified felon. So it looks, I wonder if he's a felon due to all these federal hold back in. Oh, you know what? It might have been. Let's see what this is. Just a federal hold. So whatever I think the reason why it's not showing up here is because this is probably more state and county charges versus federal charges. So it sounds like whatever he became a felon over might have been a felony charge.
See, I wondered about that. I wondered if his felony, I wondered if that was drug charges.
Might have been. That's very interesting, but I definitely would like to know everything I can about him. So if anybody knows how to work the PACER system, maybe look him up and send me the PACER report on him. But I used to use PACER back when I was at law offices, and to be honest with you, I don't know how the hell to work it anymore. Somebody a lot smarter than me can. Let's see what else. And then Sarah Wondra, I was on her Facebook page as well.
Yeah, she's had some nutty posts.
Yeah. But there was one on her TikTok that I was looking at that was just weird. I mean, just, where is it? She was laying on the bed. Let me see if I can play it. It was just, to me, wholly weird.
Strange people.
Yeah, I think it's this one right here. Hold on, let me pull this up. I think it's this one right here. I think this is the one.
On September 16th, Sarah puts, I just want to put out there, if you are my friend and know I am going through a divorce right now, just know as much as I wish I could delete the other profiles I have right now. Stacy blocked me out of all accounts, so they unfortunately are still there, but I have blocked them. Thank God I don't have to look at them anymore, but I don't have a way to delete them, so just ignore them. No, I am not with him anymore ever again. Praise be to God.
Well, it sounds like, based upon that, it sounds like she's got something on him as opposed to, I mean, I don't know. Jennifer Coffendorfer, I just heard, posted something. Let me see what we got here.
They're saying that there could be, I've heard, this is not confirmed, I haven't confirmed this, a press conference could take place at noon their time.
Okay, it looks like Sarah Wondra has now been arrested with other things. So it looks like charges are battery, controlled substance possession, evidence destruction and alteration, weapon, unlawful possession, and assault, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Here, let me put this up. This is what was just posted from Jennifer Coffendorfer.
Damn.
So it looks like they've already upgraded some charges, I would assume.
This makes me wonder, Betty.
But you know, the one thing that's not on here is the failure to report.
Yep.
Oh, these charges maybe are from April, aren't they? Yes, these charges are from April.
Oh, April.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I've got this. I can send these to you. Hold on.
But it says aggravated assault with death.
It probably should have said with deadly weapon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what Jennifer has just posted up on her Twitter page about Michael Monkey Vaughn.
Now, that's the same time that he was arrested as well, back in April when he got caught with a firearm. So
this is insane.
Assault with a deadly weapon on her. He's charged with being in possession of the firearm. Who did she harm with this firearm that he went to try to sell at the pawn shop?
Yeah.
That's my question.
So it sounds like they're focusing more on the woman than the guy.
And now we know there is the drug history, though, because there was the possession.
Yeah. It definitely said, like I said, when these cases come, you always find there is something. I mean, this person obviously seems like she is not right upstairs, but it seems like she, and oh, this is what I was going to show you guys. Hold on, let me put this up too. I was trying to look at how this could have happened. Let me put this back up. So here we have, I wish I could blow this up. Maybe I can. So here we go, right here. this is kind of Michael's street. This is the main turn into this road, and you can get right to his house from this way, or you can go all the way down and go this way. It doesn't matter, but this is the main drag in. This is the entrance to the community where they live. So my thing is I'm wondering if they want to leave to go somewhere and look down this road and saw Michael standing in the middle of the road where he was last seen, and just drove and scooped him up, turned around and left.
That random picture that she has or he has on his Facebook, when did he post that? Was that before or after he went missing?
It was after.
Yeah.
It was definitely after.
I hope they have all the devices to see if there's any pictures or videos to see if maybe they stake this out to try to catch this baby.
Yeah, but I don't think, I mean, this is turning into just a weird scenario, because other than the SA type of thought process for this, I keep wondering what would be the motives of taking this child and hurting him or harming him. You know, did they have a history of not liking children? Did they have a history of some weird fetishes? You know, it makes you wonder.
I'm just praying that they've got him somewhere. Maybe they thought they could take care of him better. You know, there's people that have crazy thoughts. And I don't mean that anyway against Brandy in a bad way. But guys, there's people like that.
Yeah.
I'm just praying with everything in me that they've got this baby somewhere and that they end up saying, look, here's where he's at. Go get him.
Right.
With everything in me, I'm hoping that baby comes home safe.
Yeah. And somebody else brought up another thing, a deadly vehicle accident. Could she? But I would think if she had accidentally hit him or something, there would have been evidence of that.
See, somebody else said that too. Somebody else had mentioned that earlier. That, you know, what if she had hit him with a vehicle and that's why they're saying failure to report a death? What if she's admitted and said, look, you know, he was in the road, I panicked?
Well, I mean, just to be honest with you, she sounds like she's under the influence a lot of time, whether that is with illegal or prescription, which, you know, some people are over medicated to begin with, right? You know, and she's driving behind the wheel. The way she slurs her words and everything else. You know?
Yeah. And not only that, but people, I just saw somebody saying that there was some posters of ST arrest in May. There was I don't know if that's necessarily true, but a lot of people were mistaken this family for the family that lives next to them that were, you know, accused years ago of, you know, ST or SA to an underage teenager, blah, 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 many, many years ago, and is an RSO. But believe it or not, this RSO has nothing to do with this case. It's actually his neighbors. That in the grand scheme of things, outside of some forgery charges on their report, there's not a whole lot there to say, ooh, I did it.
Yeah.
And see, with her going in and out of a mental hospital, that's the other thing that really bothers me. She's been in since this baby went missing. A couple people said, you know, that's her defense.
Yeah, it sounds like she went there twice, as a matter of fact.
She did. She went there twice. She was there 2 days, one time, allegedly, and then she was out for like 24 hours, and she allegedly went back again for like a day.
Yeah, and there's also, which somebody just reminded me when they said no Cash App except for Brandy. Yes, there is another, let me see where it is. Oh, I know that was sent to me yesterday, and I said I would post it. I would post it on my next live, and I just...
The Cash App?
Yeah, her Cash App and the new stuff.
I can tell you what it is. It's, give me 2 seconds and I'll find it. I got it right here. $ Monkey Family Trust.
Yeah, $. Can you throw that in the app or in the chat for me, please?
Yeah.
Since you've got it. But there's also another one.
Well, that's the one they're saying on the website official.
Hold on, where is this? Okay, and then find monkeyvaughn.com. Let me put that in there. Find monkey. Did I have that right? Find Michael Vaughan. Monkey. Why? Find. Sorry, my typing. Gotta get the. You either have to get the good angle on the computer and have your arms way up at the top. There it is. Here we go. So here is the website for them as well. Hold on. Somebody's texting me and I gotta see who it is.
Yeah, the one Jennifer posted just a few minutes ago, that one is from, I'm going to send this to you, Betty. I've got the bunch of stuff here.
I'm going to put that upside to that one. I'm going to put this down and I want people to hear this again because I know there's new people coming up. Guys, don't forget, we have 2,600 people in the chat. Please go out there and like this. Like, share, and subscribe this. Give me just a second. I'm going to play this again because we got more people in chat now. But this again is what I'm going to start right back here.
You may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
He has not been arrested. Sarah.
Okay, and what's her charges?
Failure to report death to law enforcement in Florida.
All right. Thank you very much.
So again, failing to report a death. So guys, this is not looking good, okay? I just want to let you know. We need to be keeping Brandy and her family in our thoughts and prayers. And you know what? It probably wouldn't hurt her getting some love from people. You know, at the end of the day, maybe sending her a nice comment instead of a horrible, hideous one. This woman has been through pure hell. And again, this is not one that I showed up on her front door with a bullhorn. So that should tell you something. People laugh at it, you know, they scoff at it. But at the end of the day, I do have methods to my madness. And she never got the bullhorn. Why? Because she was not guilty. What do you have to say about all this, Justice? I know this has got to be just
crazy. You know, it's a lot. It's, you know, you want to see closure in this case, whatever that is. You want, obviously the best scenario would be finding him alive and well. However, the police chief says they are, very bluntly in the news article, that they are a body. So, you know, it's, you know, we're just waiting, and so far nothing has came out of this, but, you know, time will tell.
Right. So that's really it. Now, did you have
I just emailed you.
Okay. Whitley, did you have any other comments to say on this before we move on to Quentin Simon?
Nope, you are good. Guys, and I want to bring that up. Somebody in chat said be careful about cash apps. There is a couple cash apps going around that have extra letters in them, or the monkey has like an extra Y. Be extremely careful. Don't give money away to scammers.
Yeah, and there are people on here that do shady stuff like that. So only use approved links. Your links are in this chat. Save them to your desktop.
It is sick. I mean, it really is. But yes, please always double check your links. Those of you that have money and can donate to Brandy, you know, money's not going to bring this baby back. I'm going to say that first. But anything that she can get might help her. Guys, pray. And I'm saying that with every bit of love in my heart. Please pray for her, because we don't know yet that this baby's gone. And I'm holding on to every ounce of hope that I have.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the way all of us are, because this, again, you know, we were hopeful. I mean, as bad as whatever we were thinking was going on, we were still thinking he was alive. And this is kind of really hitting a lot of us kind of upside the head.
Brandy and Tyler are unable to work right now naturally, and they have 3 kids at home.
Mm-hmm.
So $5-10 or whatever you can donate, it would really, really help tremendously.
And this is I'm telling you guys, this is approved by us. We're telling you, if you have it, we don't support.
I donated last night,
but we do support families. And this is a family that needs the love and support that only YouTube can provide this family.
Gemini, nothing surprises me with other channels. It's public record. What Betty's played is public record. Any of you can call. Anybody smart enough to look up the phone number on Google can call. Yeah, Betty just pulled it up. I mean, guys, it's not anything.
No, it's all public record. Every bit of this is public record. When I call there, I'm being recorded. What makes you think I can't record them? That's first and foremost. Okay. Secondly, this is a public office. And thirdly, this is information that we are entitled to have. Otherwise, they would not give it to us.
I just can't deal with stupid people. Like, that bothers me.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of them. So here it is. Just for those that need to know, it's Monkey Family Trust. $ Monkey Family Trust. That is the correct spelling and the correct cash app for this family. If you would like to donate, we don't know what is going to happen in this case. We don't know if this is him. All we can do is wait on eggshells to find out. And I'm telling you that right now, this is very, very serious. We are looking and facing that this little boy is gone. His family has been straight through the ringer and back. Yeah. And they need the love and the support from YouTube that they didn't get when they were desperately trying to find answers. People are sitting there sending money to despicable people like Billy Joe and Leilani.
Exactly.
While they're bashing this woman and her family that has dealt with so much, and let me tell you, is not scared to come out and show their face and beg for help. Every time this lady has been out, she has begged for help for her son. She hasn't cried that life's gotten too, overwhelming for her. And it's all about her son. Does she talk about those things when people ask? Of course she does. But it never stopped her. It never, ever, ever stopped her. And she kept wanting to find the truth.
Yeah,
I'm happy that I was able to help.
I just saw somebody said, Brandy doesn't want people calling these suspects. I hate that this happened altogether, but I'm so glad these people are in jail, because guys, you can't just call somebody who's a suspect for murder. You can't call them on the phone and end up hindering that investigation. All that's doing is giving them an out.
Well, when I was talking to a friend, and this is probably going to piss Brandy off. I was talking to a friend, and they're like, the family's pissed off because JLR, called the neighbor and stuff like that. And honestly, and I said that to them, and people are probably going to be pissed off and hate me for this, but honestly, at the end of the day, if I had the neighbor's number, I probably would have called them myself.
Right.
To find out, what's going on. Do they have any information? They're obviously not under a gag order. And I don't see how learning whether, if the people were weird or not have anything to do with an investigation. But, at the end of the day, Brandy is finding out some of the worst news in her life. She is angry at a lot of people that came out and spoke out against her, put her family through hell. Put the people that were helping her through hell. And at the end of the day, she has a right to be angry at anybody. If she wanted to be angry at Bullhorn Betty, I would understand. Because, this has just landed in her lap. She went to work one day on a normal day, thinking she was going to come home to a chaotic mess that only a family can provide, the happy, chaotic mess that a family can provide, right? And she gets called and finds out her son is missing, and her whole entire world comes to an end. And so provided by who and how many Cash Apps. Alt 777. I'm saying that Cash App has been checked and is the legit account. And I know Lana's in here throughout the day if I'm alive, so she can even confirm that is the legit account for the family.
Yeah, the one that I provided, I can tell you because I sent money on that.
The Monkey Family Trust.
Yes, the Monkey Family Trust. I sent money on that, and it is verified. Sorry.
Betty, I do thank you for having me up on panel.
Oh, absolutely, Whitley. Thank you so much for the heads up. Thank you for helping out, and thank you for directing me for that call.
No, not a problem. And I appreciate you taking it and, checking that out for yourself. That's what I said. I didn't want it to just be my word. I wanted you to check for yourself and see it.
Mm-hmm.
That way, there was no false information, because several of us have now called and said, look, hey, what's the charges? Again, guys, it's public. And one more thing before I go, because it's really killing me. And I just saw what Christina had posted in chat. On another channel, guys, I realize that people are saying that Betty and Dolly are there in Idaho. They're not in Idaho.
No, we're not in Idaho. I'm in Florida right now. And not only that, but I can guarantee you, Brandy is not talking about us. We have not done anything but help that family. So if other YouTubers are reaching out to the family and making their phones blow up, it is not Bullhorn Betty. It's the other assholes out here on YouTube.
In my opinion, there's someone exacerbating this, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, I had
to leave people, from my understanding, they're exacerbating this, because from my understanding is the family's phones are blowing up.
Yes.
And it's like they have asked the public to respect their privacy in this horrible time. I think that YouTube has had their opportunity to be kind to this lady and has chose not to be kind to her or her family. And if she has a problem with that, she deserves to have a problem with that, because YouTubers in some accounts suck.
Yeah, some of them are relentless.
And no, I do not believe. Brandy was just here in this chat room just 2 days ago. Literally just 2 days ago, when we aired the story, her interview with me. So no, I don't see where Brandy is mad. As a matter of fact, her and her representative have said thank you for this. I'm working on a video right now of the comparisons between Leilani and Brandy, which is going to take me a while, because many of you guys know it takes me forever to edit a video. And, I told the family I'd give them a copy of it before I aired it. So this idea that that Brandy, I have connections to her if need be. I'm not using those connections by any stretch of the imagination to talk to her, to get to her. I feel for her. My heart bleeds for this lady. My heart bleeds for her entire family. My heart bleeds that she has to listen to cranes in a neighboring, and don't think she can't hear that. When she drives down the road or walks down the road, she's hearing those big equipments being operated in her community.
God, I'd say she's hearing that in her sleep. I mean, for whatever sleep she's getting, I cannot imagine.
Right. And so if she wants to be mad at a few YouTubers, she has every right to be. Do I take what she's saying personally? Absolutely not, because I know she's not talking to me. Because at the end of the day, there was only a few YouTubers that actually went out there and helped.
Yeah.
I mean, even Chris McDonough, I don't think ever even bothered to help. He just got the story.
No, he went out there.
Yeah, but he didn't. I don't know if he hung up one flyer, posted a banner, did anything that would actually help the family find answers. We went and door knocked. We went and posted flyers. We went and stuck up a banner. We went and interviewed neighbors. We even interviewed the drone guy, the guy that had his drone shot out of the sky. The guy that was there when all this was unfolding, on the day it was unfolding.
Yes, Eliza, you are absolutely right. Creators trashing other creators is not going to help this family. Brandy can hear the equipment from her home. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There should be no drama that this mother should have to worry about relating to YouTubers. Don't bother suspects and don't bother her.
Right.
And that's it. It's fairly
and
simple.
so far, I don't think anybody's had an interview with the Wondras yet. So I but I do agree that they need to leave Brandy and Tyler alone. I mean, they are dealing with some of the worst news they have ever heard in their life. The first worst news was their son was missing. They had hope. They had optimism that he was coming home. We prayed for him to come home by Christmas. This is not what I meant. But again, this is what we're dealing with. I knew if anything bad happened to him, it had to have been in that community. I knew it when I stepped foot there. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But again, that's stuff that you get when you have feet on the ground there. But there's nothing around there. Who else would have been there to see this boy walking down the road except somebody from that community? You know? Oh, and this is Bama Kids is saying they're telling BHB and JLR are partners. Everybody keeps saying that because when we worked together on Gabby Petito, then we went to Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner, and then we followed Gabby's steps out north. We went to Summer Wells. But if you guys recall, when was the last time you seen me work with or partner with JLR? We collaborate on
we work when we work together.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's really not rocket science. We work when we work together,
right?
And we're happy when we can work together. And when we don't, that doesn't make us partners in life. You know what I mean? It's like, we're friends. We work when we work together, and when we don't, we don't.
Yeah, and not only that, but to be honest with you, JLR is a very good investigator. He's an investigative reporter. He's been an investigative reporter for many years, long before I knew him. And this is his shtick, this is not, he's taught me a few things when I was able to work with him. God bless him for that. But at the end of the day, he is himself. Do I work with him? Whenever I have an opportunity to work with JLR, I will work with him because I know how good his work is. Does it step on people's toes? Yes, it does. Do I get frustrated with him at times? Of course I do. He posts things I don't agree with, right? But that's him individually. He's allowed to have his own opinion and do what he wants to do.
That's the beauty of being an independent channel.
Yeah. So, I mean, do I care that, when we go out to these things, I have a good, powerful team? Yes, I do. And when Jonathan is able to go on those, then he is welcomed with open arms. But again, him and I are totally different. Me and Dolly are totally different. Me and Olivia are totally different. MGL, Justice, we work together when we can work together.
We all have our own style.
And we all have our own opinions.
Exactly. And that's okay.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's actually a great thing. It's okay to clash heads. At least you're not in an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm. And we definitely don't parrot each other. And that's what makes it authentic.
Exactly.
Thank you, Justice. I'm going to head out.
All right, Whitley, thank you for all your insight. Again,
nice meeting you.
Bless you for helping. And I'm glad to have you on panel anytime.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great evening.
You too. God bless.
Bye.
So,
you going to move to Quinton now?
Yeah. Well, what's going on with Quinton? We had a news release happen, and they were saying basically that what?
I'll read it again if you would like me to.
Yes, please do, because you know me.
I sent you an email, but I also sent you a text.
Hey, hold on a second. I'm going to let you talk. I got to make one phone call. It's very important that I make this phone call.
Yep. And please look at your text there. So, if you'll accept that, Betty, so I can show this. So just a little bit ago, Chatham County Police Department, today we begin another week of searching the landfill for Quentin Simon. The photos and videos we share over the last 4 weeks show you what a massive yet painstakingly effort this has been for every single person involved. We have asked the teams on this search to endure the physical, mental, and emotional burden of reporting to this landfill day after day, knowing that the chances of finding Quentin's remains are low. And we are proud of every member of the Chatham County Police Department, FBI, GBI, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, and Georgia Department of Natural Resources who has performed this duty with unmatched professionalism. This is a very interesting point right here. At this point, we do not have a scheduled end date of this landfill search. Meanwhile, our investigative team continues working diligently to uncover and collect every piece of evidence related in this case. And as you can see here, this is what they are going through. This is what they're searching through. They have been, 6 weeks or so. It's just really disheartening that, you have these people who, Leilani who throws her kid in a dumpster, and then you have, allegedly, and then you have, Brandy, who is, walked, put up posters nonstop and still worked a job and taking care of her family. All right. So that's that. It's good. Like, I was thinking that they may end the search a lot sooner than what I expected, but it seems like they are, Leilani is just evil, in my opinion, too. Yeah. So, that's that. So, another case found. What was that? KHA child. I wish I could select it, but I can't. In a landfill in 10 days. This really makes me mad with Quinton. Wow. That's sad. And, they're just continually, living their life, Leilani and Billy Joe and all of them. It's just insanity. It really is just insanity.
Yeah, I'm back, just to let you know. I was just talking. I didn't realize, it's kind of one of these mucky things where you look into something, you only assume family knows about it. Well, they didn't. So hopefully, I don't know what kind of information this can provide to them. And that's why I said if Brandy was watching, this is definitely not the show to be watching today, because we were going to be talking about a lot of uncomfortable things. So anyways, that was just what I was dealing with. But getting back to Quinton, I see this. I was reading through all the stuff you were saying. So it just sucks. I don't know what other thing to say than that. But keep going.
I mean, it's, it just seems like it's just endless. Every single day, Betty, there's just something more. Another case. And it seems like these criminals are getting smarter. It's like they just try to get by with.
Well, think about it. I mean, if they watch YouTube, we give them a roadmap to commit the perfect crime, because we have to sit here and talk about all this stuff, what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
We might be part of the problem, to be honest with you.
I mean, in a sense, but it's kind of it's just like the forensics.
Yeah.
The forensic shows, that's where you really get into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did hear about the, did you hear about the song? Somebody was playing this song for me that Danny had wrote shortly after Quinton went missing. Did you hear that? It was a little sick, I have to be honest with you.
Say that again.
Danny released a video. I guess it was on his YouTube page or his Facebook page or something. I listened to it. I forgot all about it until just now. But I actually listened to it when I was there in Savannah, Georgia. One of the protesters there said, "Have you heard this song?" I said, "No." And I was listening to it, and it was talking about death and all this other stuff. It was a little eerie.
Yes. Somebody was supposed to send that to me, but it's about someone going missing. Is that true?
Yeah, like they're never coming back again, or something to that effect. I remember listening to it, and I'm like, "Wow, that's a little, a little inappropriate for the time." Like, I believe there's a time and a place for everything, even if that song was written months prior to, there's a time and a place for everything. I don't think it was the time or the place to be releasing that particular song.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I would like to know when that song was written.
Well, but not only that, you have to think of the mind that writes these songs, right? You have to go somewhere. Anytime you're reading someone's work, listening to someone's work, that's going in the mind of someone.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I've taken up so much time. If you want to go live, I'll come over and see you on your live. But I need to eat something. I need to take a break. This stuff gets to me so bad. The Quinton Simon, this Michael Vaughn. I mean, you got two totally polar opposite scenarios here, and two of them are very, very horrible. They're horrible. But if you'd like to, I know you said you're kind of tired of being live, but quite frankly, I need to eat something. And
I've got to go pick up my kids in just a little bit. So.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to open up the phone lines a little bit and let people, so just stick with me. Oh, let me let you go through your stuff. I kind of stopped you. Sorry about that.
No. I'm done.
Okay.
Really. So.
All right. Looking behind and looking at that photo and knowing that that's the final resting place of Quentin Simon, at least for law enforcement's perspective, that's horrible. That's horrible. May, you need to say something. Go ahead.
No, it's just horrible. I mean, there's a little girl, I think she is in Illinois, and she was about 8 or 9. The police looked for her 6 months, never found her, and the family has to go to a landfill to take flowers because, like, the parents were actually innocent in this. When it was like an uncle or something that did this to the kid, and like the family, they go to literally the landfill and put flowers. You know how they eventually put grass over it and all of that, but yeah, it's just sad. That's a child's final resting place.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely sad. All right, I'm going to open this up. You got a few minutes? I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to open up the phone lines and let people kind of call in.
Sure. All right, dear. I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, love. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I'm going to go ahead. Now I can put my camera back on. I'm up. There I am. Hey, I didn't go nowhere. I'm right here. Let me see what we got here. Give me just a second. I see some text messages coming in. I just want to make sure that they're not. Yeah. Okay. I've seen several. What does Arkansas say? I've seen several cases where they searched a landfill for people, and none of them were successful at finding them. I have just the opposite experience. But again, I've only dealt with really one case like this where they did and that's how I found out the logistics of these landfills. They're amazing. The problem, I think, that happened in this case is they knew that there was the possibility of this landfill, and they didn't segregate the garbage. They let the garbage keep going through its normal process, and that was a crucial mistake, in my opinion. It was a crucial mistake. They should have stopped everything that happened that day and put it in an area that would not be harmed or touched or processed or crushed or, whatever landfills do before they put it in the ground. That was, to me, the biggest mistake that they had made. Just telling them not to process that stuff. Would it have put them behind? Yes, it would have put them behind. But, over the course of the time, they would have been able to process it normally once law enforcement got done. Just again, it's one of those ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure type things. And now we're seeing the devastation of that. Now, could I be completely wrong? Could they have segregated that garbage during that time? Yeah, because we don't know one way or another whether they did or did not. So that is, one of those things. Let me see what do we got going on here. Love you, BHB and Justin. Yes, we love you guys too. And this is very heartbreaking. Many of you guys know this does wear on me. And am I ashamed of the video I put out the other night or in the wee hours of morning yesterday? No, I'm not. I'm not. This stuff does get to me. This stuff keeps me up at night. This is a hard job, no matter what hate group says it's not. For all of us, Justice, Dolly, JLR, Olivia, and other creators that go out there, this is a very difficult job. It's a difficult process. And, again, JLR is, people are trying to say is a partner. Listen, I collaborate with him. I haven't collaborated with him literally in months. The last time I collaborated with him, and that was only for one-off, and that was when we went to search for Stephanie Shenefield. He came down to help in those search efforts. The other time was Miranda Paola. Again, he assisted in the search efforts. It wasn't something that we were collaborating on for a story or a video or anything like that. It was just to help the families in these two cases. So, again, is it somebody that I speak to? Yeah, I speak to him. Is it somebody that I work with nonstop? No, he's no different than the work I do with Justice for All, or Marissa or Olivia. He's just there whenever we're working on the same case together. So yes, very, very, very stressful. The husband of Sarah, what does it say? Also Ruth Sakala. Yeah, we went searching for another lady that has not been found, Ruth Sakala in Pasco County. So a lot of local work we've done together, but we've only collaborated on like 2 or 3 actual trips across the country. That's it. So, and again, nice guy. I've worked with him in the political realm, doing political stuff. It wasn't until Gabby that I worked with him on a victim avocation type of scenario. But anyways, let me open these phone lines. Let me find where it is for the phone lines. I know I had it open. There it is. All right. So the phone lines are open. Let me put the banner up so you guys know where to call, what to call. There it is. If you guys would like to call in, the phones are open right now. Just to see what you think. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. If you want to talk about Michael Monkey Vaughn, you can talk about him. If you'd like to put your opinions in for Quinton. This is Betty.
This is your mother.
Mama Bullhorn. Mama Bullhorn. So tell me what your thoughts are.
Listening to you and Justin and the reporter, I forgot her name. I apologize.
Whitley. Her name was Whitley.
I came up with 3 things that, the 3 cases, Summer, Quinton, and Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
There is someone that knows the truth that is, in all 3 cases, someone is hiding the truth.
Mm-hmm.
In Summer's case, it's Dawn, Candace, and Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
In Quentin's case, it's Leilani.
It's everybody in that damn house, let's be honest. Everybody in that damn house knows what happened.
And in this case with Monkey, it's going to come out. I believe it wholeheartedly that this girl not Stacy, but Sarah
Mm-hmm.
is got some real mental issues,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that she hit the kid. Well, they haven't reported it, but that's that's my feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I'm picking it up. He was on a scooter. She was in one of her diabetic situations. And just think about it. Sidebar. Just think about it. I was just mentioning that earlier. She drives a taxi.
Mm-hmm.
She could go into one of her diabetic things while driving the taxi. So, but that's not what I wanted to say. I think she hit him, grabbed him up.
Why? But the question is why? Why? Why this child? Why this?
Maybe she didn't know she hit him.
Yeah.
Maybe she was in a glucose blackout. Because it's the same as an alcoholic blackout. I learned this when I worked for
But in the blackout, can they move? I mean, are they functional, or I never seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's up until they go into a coma.
Wow.
But anyways,
because she was discussing. I mean, they were talking about her page or her husband saying the day before this happened, she wasn't doing good and had a lot of pain and needed to go into the hospital. It just seems odd to me that she's in the hospital one day. You would think that she would be in bed the next day if she just got out of the hospital, as opposed to driving around and snatching a child.
Okay. Your great-grandmother was an insulin-dependent diabetic. Okay?
Okay.
If she didn't have her shot on time, she did some crazy things. Okay? She would say things. It was like the body snatchers. It was like the land of the body snatchers. Okay? She would get mean. She could say things that she would never, ever, ever in this life say.
Mm-hmm.
What else? And she wouldn't remember it. It's like a form of hypnosis.
Okay.
You know, if you tried to talk to her about it,
right,
she'd deny it because she couldn't remember it. The blackout.
Well, this seems a little more calculated than a blackout, if you ask me. It really does, because you're talking about.
I'm not making excuses for her.
Right.
It's scary. It's scary because I watched JLR.
Right.
And he talked about it. So I'm going, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, JLR, you know, he is quite the investigator. I got to be honest with you. I was surprised to see that he went, called the neighbor, but it sounded like at the beginning when he called the neighbor, he thought it was the neighbor's house that was being excavated as opposed to the Wondras, because, we knew about the 1100 guy because he is an RSO. So,
okay. Let me elaborate on that. Okay. That guy knew too much.
Interesting
JLR
thought.
interviewed him on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That guy knew too damn much.
Yeah, but what if it was in concert? Because there are some people that are saying because he did that, there is a possibility that these other, because nobody knows anything, that it's possible that the neighbors did have some culpability in it. And
well, he had a key to their house.
Yeah.
He took care of the cats when they weren't around. The other thing is,
and I found it odd that he went out of his way to say that they wanted him to watch the cats, but since nobody was home, he didn't feel comfortable going in the house. And I'm thinking, who says that? Like Glenn, my neighbor. I mean, you see how much I'm barely home. I mean, he comes in this house all the time to drop mail off and everything else.
Yeah. No, I'm saying this guy, first of all, he bought a car from them for his wife.
Yeah.
He didn't explain what car. Secondly, I think they sold it. He's a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked on their cars. I
I think there was a falling out over not getting paid. The 2 weeks she was in the mental health ward, he took care of the cats. And his wife just got out of jail. So I'm thinking, sounds to me he may have turned them in. Or his wife turned him in to reduce her charges.
It's definitely odd. It's without a doubt odd. But again, you know, could this affect the investigation? I mean, we've come face to face with killers before, and not one time did us nose around and, you know, hinder the investigation.
The Stepford wives, only it's welcome to Stepford. It's like welcome to, you know, Ben Hill Road. So much crap has come out about the residents of Ben Hill Road. It's unreal.
Yeah, I know. But that was one road. I mean, that you know, that was one road, and it was crazy on just one road. I mean, we're talking about a whole community in Fruitland, Idaho.
In that neighborhood. I mean, there's a cult of them, almost like they're all distantly related, I think. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they may have had like a party. God, oh, that's awful to think. That's awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Awful.
I agree. All right, Mama. There's other people calling in, so let you go and let them call in.
I just wanted to express my feelings.
Well, I'm glad you did. Everybody loves you, so keep coming back.
Bye. Bye.
The only time you get to see your daughter, the only time she gets to see me is through her TV screen. I got friends that are complaining, like, I never see you. If my mama ain't seeing me and you see me more than my mama is going to have a problem. So whoever was calling back in, the lines are open if you want to call in. I remember the number. But Mama Bullhorn is definitely one that is up on her. She's a sharp cookie. She's a sharp cookie. This is Betty.
Hey, Bullhorn Betty, it's Stepford.
Hey, honey, how are you?
I am doing good. I just want to tell you the same thing I told Dolly the other day. Let them haters hate. That's their job. Don't disrupt their job.
Yeah, we all got jobs here.
Yeah, no, I sent you this skit. You ever heard of Cat Williams? He's a comedian, and a friend of mine had sent me this skit at a bad time in my life when I had a lot of haters. And it's funny. It will put your haters in a perspective that you'll be like, come on, haters. I need more. Bring me more. I'm serious. I sent it to your Facebook. You'll love it. It's
okay,
great.
well, I'll go check it. Out.
Let some haters hate.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell you, I love you so much. You've been in
Aw,
my
virtual
prayers.
hug. Thank you.
You've been in my thoughts. Like, even my boyfriend was like, you don't even know her. Why are you upset? I was like, she knows me. And I was like, I talked to her. I said, I don't really know her. I said, but I am worried. And I said, I'm concerned. I was like, these cases are heavy.
They're awful.
And they're heavy just for me who watches them.
Kylie Rodney was the worst one for me as far as the gruesome context I had to review.
Right.
It was awful.
Yeah, that was rough. And that's still weird to me. I don't even want to get into that whole thing, but still weird.
Yeah.
Something's not right. I don't know. But that's the weirdest thing about all these cases. Like, I agreed with you the other night when you said, you know, we knew Summer wasn't coming home. You know, we knew, and so on and so on. But you had hope with Michael Monkey Vaughn. I did too. And this really bothers me that none of them come home.
Yeah. It seems like every single case that we cover is usually ends really, really bad. We don't get the cases that, you know, in happy and, you know, somebody's reunited with their family. The cases we get is horrible. Just they're hard. I mean, and they're children.
They are. And you know, I was hoping like 5 out of 1 or 1 out of 5, you know, might make it. I don't know anymore now.
No, it's like 0 out of. I mean, it's like 0 out of 5. There are cases that you know have happy endings, but it's usually the teenagers, you know, that are running away from home and mom and dad gets them back. And
right, exactly.
but these younger
You know,
kids, not so much.
Right, and like even like somebody was saying in the chat, like I don't understand how a parent lost their 5-year-old. Well, I'm the first to tell you, I'm a really good mom. I'm a damn good mom. I got stepchildren and my own kids. And I was in the bathroom about a month ago, and I heard my door open. And, I rushed out there, and within 1 minute of me being in that bathroom, my son was in my yard, and my creepy neighbor was bringing him back to me and going, "Your son was outside." And I mean, a minute,
Right.
And that, I mean, now the doors are locked 100% all the time. But the thing is, it does happen. It does accidentally happen. And it, that father, I feel deep for. I feel deep because he didn't, it was, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I mean, it just, shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I accidentally hit a dog the other day. I didn't mean to,
Right.
but I hit him. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad. But I'll let you go and let you have other callers. I just want to tell you how much I love you. And
Oh, I love you too, Coffee
I'm thinking
Bean.
about you, Honcho Bean.
All right. Love you. God bless.
God bless. Bye.
This is Betty.
Hey, Betty, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, dear. How are you?
Good. I wanted to say, I've spoken to you before on here, but I absolutely, the other night I stayed up all night watching you, and I was crying with you. You touched me so much. I've been through a lot of the same things that you've been through, but coming out and speaking, it shows, how real you are and the emotions you have behind it. And anybody who will bash you for that or anything should just really,
They said they said I was drunk and horny, and I'm thinking, if that's what you got out of that entire video, then you weren't watching.
You would have been home doing something else other than being on YouTube.
Drinking a bottle of wine alone. You got me.
But
I agree. I agree.
I wanted to say about the neighbor, the call with JLR to the neighbor.
Yeah.
The neighbor, it seemed like the neighbor, when your mom was saying he knew too much, that's exactly what I thought. The neighbor was like, no, I just go to work and come home. Like he didn't really know them. Like he's seen, and at first he said, I've seen her outside, like being weird with all this God stuff and preaching. And he made he only saw them in coming and going at first. And then the next thing he's like, well, yeah, I did some mechanic work for them.
And I bought a car from them, and I feed their cat, and I have a key to their house.
Right. And then he said, and then he called me from jail and asked me to borrow my car.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? And then when he said that about I didn't want to go in the house because there was nobody home, I was like, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I'm like, that is just such a statement. Like, I don't want to take the chance of my DNA being in that house. Like, he knows what happened in that house.
Right.
Or he was involved in it, and he doesn't want to go anywhere near it now. He wants to separate himself from it and make it like he originally started saying, like, no, I don't know them,
Yeah.
You don't know them, but you got their key, you got their phone number. He's calling you from jail, and like.
Yeah. And, I mean, like I said,
there.
People, they, with JLR, it's a mixed bag of nuts, but he's really good at what he does. And quite frankly, we wouldn't have that interview had he not done that. I understand I understand both sides of the argument. One, he's an investigative journalist.
Brandy being upset about it. I do think that's the kind of stuff she was upset about.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I think the phone call to the neighbors, I think upset her. Because she said calling people,
Yeah.
And I don't think that hinders the investigation, though. I think that brings out more information for the police to look at and see, and give them areas to investigate.
But I mean, you can kind of understand the mom's perspective on this. I mean, this has got to be, she's got to be absolutely terrified. One, that now she's knowing something, and two, the thought of anything that could hinder the full prosecution and, bringing Michael justice, true justice. I think any mom or any family member would be terrified that there would be one scintilla of something that could cause this case to be derailed. I mean, I can understand her point.
Absolutely. And you know what? And if she wants to be, she's probably mad at the world. Let her be. Let her be mad at everybody.
She has a right to be. She's earned it. With the worst type of...
My heart breaks for her. And seeing Leilani, like if I could, believe you me, I would have been down in Georgia. My sister lives in Georgia, maybe a half hour from there. She's got 7 kids, so she couldn't come out. But, I would have loved to have come out there. I can't because I have responsibilities here with my children, and I have dogs that I have nobody to take care of. And I would have loved to be there. I don't know if I would have had the restraint that you guys all had, because I probably would have went after her.
Yeah.
It is disgusting, and Billy Joe is disgusting. And her saying she was clean before all this, her jaw was going on her very first interview. So she wasn't clean back then.
Yeah.
And it's just, I can't imagine. I love my grandchildren. Now I have a granddaughter that is biologically my granddaughter, and then my son and his mother got divorced. She has another child with somebody else who is also my granddaughter, even though there's no relation, but she's my biological granddaughter's sister. I treat them exactly the same. I couldn't imagine anything happening to them. I would kill. I could care less if it was my son.
Right.
There is no way that I would cover something like that. Like, the disgustingness of it's just so sickening.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
And their crooked way that they're policing is insane. Especially when, after she had tried to hit you with the car, and then she pulled the car up almost to the tent, and the cop did nothing.
Yeah, and even under the ACLU, even in the ACLU says law enforcement is to separate opposition, to make sure that there's plenty of space so everybody can have their voice heard in a safe manner, and they failed to do that.
Right, and how did they not see that she was the aggressor when, didn't they ask you to stay on one side originally and, to try and stay away or something, and you guys went to the other side and were over there, and then she pulled the car up over there, and how does law enforcement not look at that and go, what, she's the aggressor?
Yeah. Because they didn't care about her. They just wanted to get a YouTuber, because everybody that had been arrested had been local people, and it defeated the fact that they were saying that the YouTubers caused this. They weren't trying to keep the peace out there. They were trying to make a point.
More than that, I mean, unless it's about the number of, they're paying attention to your number of subscribers and all that stuff, then maybe that's why they came after you guys. And I think that they're afraid to come after you. I don't think you're going to get arrested.
Right.
I mean, I think they want to.
Yeah, but they can't. They can only arrest you if you do something. But see, the problem we're having with Chatham County is they make up charges. That's what's scary about going there, is that they would literally make up charges to charge somebody to put cuffs on them, as opposed to giving them a ticket or some other citation. So that's the issue I truly have.
Yeah. If they were, I think it's one of two things. They either are paying attention to the number of subscribers and the people that are watching you, and that other woman, Aileen, whatever her name is, doesn't have nearly as many.
No, she doesn't.
Or the connection to the family with the police is why they didn't go after her being the aggressor. Because if they just wanted a YouTuber, they could have gotten her.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't an established YouTuber, and it wasn't a Dolly Vision or Bullhorn Betty. I mean, if I would have done something illegal, they'd have had, not even that. If I would have rocked in the road or something, my ass would have been in jail too.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that woman is walking the streets. And I wonder if there's a possibility of him actually not being in the landfill, and she killed him, and she put the clothes he was wearing or something, and maybe evidence in the dumpster, and Danny took him and put him somewhere else when he went to work.
It's possible, but I have to think that, Danny had a different vehicle than Leilani, and the timing didn't suit, because at certain times that they had the evidence against Leilani, it was well known that Danny was at work. So, or, maybe sleep. Who knows? Danny needs to come out and speak and tell his truth.
He does need to speak. And, maybe he's speaking to law enforcement. Who knows? But I don't understand, if he is, why she's still walking the streets. That's what makes me think he's not.
Yeah.
And, maybe he'll get involved as an accessory or something like that. But how do you let a murderer walk loose?
It doesn't make sense. And not only that, but Billy Joe should have been the first one arrested. Where's your grandson that you're responsible for? I don't know. I left him with his mother. You just took custody of him from his mother. Clink, clink should have been the next thing that happened to her.
Yes, absolutely. Because if Leilani was not supposed to have those children, it is against the law for Billy Joe to leave him with her, unsupervised.
Yeah. And not only that, but I hear that the order was actually ordered for her to be evicted from the house back in September.
And pay child support. And I think I honestly think that's what it was about. It was revenge on her mother for, eviction and the child support order.
Yeah. And just
she thought,
hold on just a second.
I mean, I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, hold on just a second. So Susanna's right. Guys, if I bash a creator here, this is my house. I'm allowed to do that. But no, we don't. We expect everybody to be respectful, and you don't have to say the creator's name. I'd almost prefer that you did, because I don't give plugs here for crappy creators. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's right. I don't think I mentioned any creators.
No, it wasn't you. It was a post in the chat.
No, I know. It was
Okay.
in the chat, but that's why I wouldn't. I don't even know who that lady is, and I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And what a piece of trash.
Wow. Yeah, and they are.
Going and advocating or speaking for a murderer.
And I don't know what this whole population is on YouTube that likes to financially support people that can financially support themselves and are still creeps like Billy Joe. Why is anybody sending a woman that makes $50 an hour any kind of money, that has 2 homes? This lady obviously has got a huge drug problem. So why are we sending her money? It seems like she's been well able to take care of herself and everybody else in her household and use drugs every single day of her life. Why are we supporting her?
Absolutely. I think it's crazy that she made an Amazon wish list, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, but people are supporting that. Who would support that?
It was like, if she was a grandmother who was torn because she loves her daughter and she loves her grandchild, and that was all it was about, was that she was so torn and she wouldn't be going out and doing these spiteful things.
Right.
This is more than that. It's not just, it's like she just doesn't give a shit. And it is so sad. Diana is the only one that loved that child. And my heart breaks for her. And
well, not only that, but her young kids. Her young kids played with that baby. I mean, she's an adult. Those young kids have never experienced something like this. You know, does it take it away from her being an adult? No, but what I'm trying to say is that her children took care of that baby as well. Her children are going through some things that they've never experienced in their life.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, but you know, how sad for Quentin that they're the only ones that loved him.
Yeah,
the only ones that showed him love,
real love,
and safety, and safety.
I've never heard of a 2-year-old, somebody under 2 years old, running away from home before. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this child did multiple times.
I have 3 children. I have 3 boys. Okay, one is 31, one is 15, and one is 14. Never once have any of them broken a bone, had a black eye. Well, I'm sorry, my one son had a black eye when he was 1 on his first birthday. His 13-month-old brother swung the xylophone and hit him in the face, and he had a black eye. That's the only black eye any of my children ever had. They never had bruises all over, scraped up knees, stuff like that. Yeah. Seeing those pictures, it is just so heartbreaking and disgusting.
Yeah, I agree.
And how law enforcement can see that and not do a thing is, you know, you don't have to arrest her for murder. You don't have to arrest her to say that she did anything to the baby, but
at the end of the day, she's on double probation. Yeah.
You know, just the affidavits in court of Billy Joe saying that she abused the kids and did drugs in front of the kids, that's enough.
Yeah.
As a mother, as a grandmother, I am so appalled by that police station.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Well, let me let you go. The phones are ringing off the hook, and I'm going to be off here in about 30 minutes.
My dog is barking off the hook, so I'll let you go.
All right, love. Thanks so much. God bless.
I love you, and keep up what you're doing, and I'll continue watching and supporting you always.
Yeah. God bless. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'm just calling into your show. Why don't you on your show?
Oh, I just killed out my, hold on, Google Voice. I just hit the wrong button and it just knocked it all down. I pull back up. Probably a phone ringing. Oops, did I do that? I did that. All right, so the phones are back open. Sorry about that. At least I think they are. Yeah, the web's on. This is Betty.
Hello, Betty. It's Anthony. I just had I'm a new subscriber. I've just been watching your show. My girlfriend watches you all the time. But I just had a couple questions. Did they get new charges? Did they issue new charges to the Wondras?
So the husband has had no new charges since April 13th when he was arrested then. And I believe that we saw the arrest record of Sarah. But as of yesterday, Sarah was charged on November 13th with the charges of failure to report a death to law enforcement or the coroner.
So what do you think that means? Do you think maybe that she knew about it and didn't report it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
So you think that they found something at that house then?
They found something because they don't just willy-nilly charge somebody with that kind of charge without having sufficient evidence to prove it.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Do you think it's a coincidence that the registered offenders are neighbors?
I think it's a little odd because naturally, whenever you look at the RSO and you saw where they were digging, I could identify that an RSO and his wife, which is also an RSO, lived right next door. It made the hair on the neck of my neck stand up, and I thought maybe they had gotten the address wrong from the 1102. But like I said, I literally talked to like one person about this, and I hadn't talked to anybody. I hadn't even watched YouTube, and then all of a sudden I get a clip emailed or text message to me of JLR talking to the neighbor I personally thought they were digging the yard up for. So it was a little odd for me. I knew it wasn't their address because I did get the address of the house they were digging up, but somehow or another, I guess it couldn't have just been Jonathan. It had to have been several other YouTubers that reached out to the neighbor as well, thinking the same damn thing. But again, I don't know. I just got one little video. That's really what you guys are getting today is all that I personally know.
Okay. Do you think JLR is wrong for, contacting them?
Well, it's kind of weird because I understand Brandy's situation and I understand that she is scared out of her mind right now. And I can understand that. But it's something that I probably would have done myself if I was up and at it yesterday. But again, it's the ugly side of the journalism that people don't like,
true.
But you've got to get
true, but I don't fault him too much because I feel like he's, doing it with good intentions.
He is. I do believe he's doing it with good intentions. And, but again, he has a stigma. I have a stigma. A lot of us creators have stigmas and it rubs on the family a little raw sometimes. And it just is what it is. But as far as, a coordinated effort like JLR and I last time I talked to him was about some stupid legal matter. It was like, I don't really talk to him like people think I talk to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not an everyday thing. It's not a coordination. It's not a collaboration whatsoever. The man works on a totally different level than I do. If you say a name on YouTube that it could be possibly this person, I guarantee within 5 minutes, JLR's already got their photo and everything else rolling on his page. So did it surprise me he did this? No, it didn't.
To him too, and he does do that.
Yeah. So it's it didn't surprise me that he did this. It really didn't at all. But I just don't want to be blamed for it because I had no hand in it. Like I found out, actually, I didn't even find out until like the rest of the world found out this video existed before it even landed on my text message. Like it had already been seen by a couple thousand people.
Jeez, it doesn't take long, does it?
It doesn't take long. So I was a little behind the scenes on that as well. So anyways, but I appreciate you and your wife watching me. Thank you. We try to keep it factual, but we do make mistakes.
No problem. Just keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys do some good things for the community and these victims. So I appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
So guys, I'm turning it off. I know there's been a lot of people trying to call in, but at the end of the day, I got to use the bathroom, and we've almost been going for 3 hours, like 2 hours and 36 minutes, somewhere around there. So I'm going to let this, we did just, let me do this before I let everybody go, because I know there's a lot of new people here. So let me go ahead and find that just so you guys can hear what I did. Again, this is a lot of people are saying stuff. This is public record. We as a community, anybody's allowed to call up there. This is not a special press type of intel or information or anything like that. This is something that is available to literally anyone. Any person in this chat can call this number and get the same exact information that I got. So I know people are going to be like, oh my God, I went the right way to get the information. I didn't, call the neighbors or do anything or call Brandy or, kick up all this. We heard something. We followed the lead. It produced results. That's what happened here. This is where my mistake came in. I only assumed that the family had already known about the charges. I just found out that it's possible that they did not. Oh, thank you, May. Thank you. But here it is. We're going to watch it again. So everybody in the chat can hear what was said and what information we found out.
For calling the Fayette County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please select from the following options. If you know the 4-digit extension, you may enter it now. For court-related questions, please press 9.
Yes, can you provide me what the current charges are for a Stacy Wondra and a Sarah Wondra?
Stacy has not been arrested. It's Sarah.
Okay, and what's her charges?
Failure to report death to law enforcement and coroner.
All right. Thank you very much.
So as you heard, again, this is them telling me what Sarah Wondra was charged with. And Sarah Wondra was charged with failing to report a death to law enforcement and the coroner. We know that it's very difficult to charge somebody without having enough evidence or enough probable cause to do so. Okay, so this is serious stuff. And again, I wish I could have came out sooner. You know, I've spoke about it many times on this show, about Brandy and the stuff that was going on. And I've also told you guys that, you know, there was, and this is what changed everything. This is what, you know, before I compared her again with Dawn Wells, Candace Bly, talked about the differences between that family and Brandy. And we're now into Leilani and Quinton Simon case, and we're comparing these people to Brandy. Brandy worked her ass off. She was not afraid to work with anybody or anyone to get the answers or help find her son. There is the big difference. She didn't come out there and call me an F&B and tell me to get off her property. You know what she did? She said, I'm going to meet with you, and I got a lot of flyers to hand you. That's what she did. I'm going to meet with you. I got flyers to hand to you. That's what Brandy did. I could tell you wherever we went, there was a sign for this boy. That didn't happen magically. Doesn't happen magically. You don't just have signs on poles, you know, abracadabra, they're there. Somebody had to have put those up there. And not just put them up there, replace them periodically. These signs were replaced periodically. Who do you think did that? Let me tell you, Brandy, her family and her friends. So as heartbreaking as some of this news coming out, we're all sitting here praying to God that they don't find Michael, that all this is just a nightmare, that he's still out there, and we're going to get answers. But this is starting to look very serious. It's starting to look like the nightmare is about to rear its ugly head. And again, YouTube has not been kind to this family. For whatever reason, people have not been kind to this family. And I'm sorry, but things go more into these cases than just simple statistics. It's actually getting your ass out there to find out the answers, and nobody was willing to do that. Nobody. Even the friendly channels that have helped Brandy, nobody took the time out to verify the information that was being said. Now, some of these channels got it right. They knew Brandy was, Brandy, Tyler, the whole family, this was an abduction. But what changed my mind for me, solidified, I shouldn't say changed my mind, solidified for me, was when JD Cuff came out and said that, one, that they believe this was an abduction. This was 200 days, I think 214 days or 114 days or something like that after Michael went missing. And I actually said, you know, it's odd that he waited that long to come out and say it. But then hindsight is they had every opportunity in that 200 days to vet everybody possible, including the parents. You didn't see him coming out and not standing with the parents. Every press conference, he had the parents there. That was a telltale sign, because look at Summer Wells. There was not one press conference that had Dawn or Candace standing next to him. There hasn't been one press conference in Chatham County where the police chief was standing next to Billy Joe and Leilani. But you did see that in the Michael Vaughn case with Tyler and Brandy. And you also heard Police Chief J.D. Huff come out and say that these parents are not the focus of their investigation. Now, if all those other things, if nobody wanted to believe anything else that was coming out of J.D. Huff's mouth, maybe this final thing, maybe them coming out and saying, look, we're not even looking at these parents. I guarantee they haven't been looking at those parents since the day that they stated that this was an abduction. I bet you they vetted both of the parents, got their timelines down. They've already, you know, they probably either removed them from the list or put them down at the very bottom of their list and started looking elsewhere. I believe it was that time that started to expand a little further. They made a law Michael Vaughan law or Monkey's law. I think it's Monkey's law. They made this law because he wasn't even, there was not one notice that went out to the community that this boy was missing. And that was sad. Had that gone out through that community, maybe somebody could have stepped forward and said, oh, I saw this blonde kid being carried into a house. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But what I can say is that they did everything right in this case. They did everything right, with the exception of the endangered person alert. That should have went out. Missing person alert, child, Amber alert. I don't care what alert it is. I mean, that's the bureaucracy. That's not normal people. Normal people don't care whether a notice says endangered missing person or missing child. They're getting the notification that somebody's missing, and they're going to look. Why? Because our phones go, whoa, 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 missing person, right? So we all naturally check the thing. Is there a car we're looking for? Is there a plate number? Do we have a description? But none of that went out for this little boy. Nothing. But what I can say is the whole community out there wasn't a door that we knocked that said, I didn't hear about this case. We had neighbors on the next street over in Quinton Simon's driving around. What's going on? Well, this is the kid. This is the 20-month-old kid that died. I didn't know they lived this close to me. Yeah. No missing person or endangered child alert went out for Quentin Simon either. But boy, what polar opposite families these are. What polar opposite families they are. But you know what, guys? If you guys can, it would be my hope that if you see Brandy in a chat room, if you have or are friends with her on her Facebook, instead of sending her something nasty or vile or something like that, maybe give her some words of encouragement. A lot of us have had loss in our own personal lives. What helped us get through it? What helped us get through it? But kindness in this case could really go a long way, because I'm telling you, it is an unkind world out there. And a lot of people on YouTube, if they think it, it's the gospel. If they process it and they say this happened, they will ride with that without one scintilla of evidence or receipt to back up their position. People will go out and say that we ain't got it right. Well, let me tell you, my batting average is pretty damn good here on YouTube, and probably why we're growing as much as we're growing. Because people can come here and know I'm not going to give them a bunch of bull crap. I'm not going to lie to their face, make them support monsters, and then turn around and tell you, oh, well, we had to do that in order to get the information. I don't have to do that. I've never done that. And I still get just as much information or more information than these creators that got to go up and slob the knob of these horrible monsters. I don't do that. And guess what? I have found out everything that you guys are learning on these channels. Except we're not listening to the sob story of the actual monsters saying how it's everybody else's fault but not theirs. With anyways, guys, I love each and every one of you. Happy Manic Monday. Bullhorn Betty's fine. I needed to cleanse the mind. I had to purge the gunk, and we're doing good. We're doing good. Everybody that was there crying with me, I appreciate it. This is a hard job, and if anybody tells you otherwise or says this is just, it's not. There are some people that this is just a paycheck for some creators, mostly the ones that have no creativity and steal everybody else's. But either way, breaking news, Lenny Beans, what's up? Sarah had court at 1:30. Oh, Sarah had court at 1:30. What was the outcome of that court hearing? Anybody can tell me? I'm at the bottom of the list. I'm watching. Has it changed the whole time she's been doing YouTube? No. I mean, I have to be. Oh, wrong one. There it goes. Yep, it hasn't changed. I don't like the fact that Brandy found out your YouTube, or found out through YouTube, but why weren't others trying to find out so Brandy knew? Exactly. And when I talked to somebody that was close to her, I sat there and said, you know, I would have reached, I wouldn't have reached out to the family because they asked for their privacy. I would naturally think that these types of charges, excuse me, would have been, you know, communicated with Brandy long before they were communicated with people here on YouTube. I mean, when the woman was charged, they should have let Brandy know that this woman's being charged. Maybe Brandy does know, you know, and maybe this isn't a surprise to her. I don't know. I can tell you it was a surprise to me. I about fell over when I found out this woman is being what she was being charged with. I was like, you know, you got no words for hearing something like this, because again, we are pulling for Michael Monkey Vaughn to be home. Check Alexandra's new tweet. Alexandra who? Let's see, tweet. So let's go back to Twitter. Is that I Am Legacy? Alexandra's tweet, arraignment. It's her. Maybe I need to go on this side because I can't see these things on my side. Hold on here. Mountain Time. And Alexandra Dugan. Hold on. Alexandra Dugan. Okay. So it says Alexander Dugan on the scene of Fruit Loom. Michael Vaughn gets arrest updates from JD Huff 11 minutes ago. He said they believe more people have knowledge of this and will be seeking out those people. Her arraignment's at 1:30 today in Fayette County. That's what I'm reading here right now on this. So for those of you, it just says he said, and I don't know who he said. Let me see what this, maybe it shows me the other stream. So is there more likely multiple people that knew what happened? Good Lord, this is disgusting. And it sounds like when she's referring to he said, I'm assuming JD Huff. He said he believes more people have knowledge of this and will be seeking out those people. Her arraignment is at 1:30 in Fayette County. This could be the reason why Brandy's a little upset that people are reaching out to the neighbor, because let's face it, the neighbor has a horrible on the appearance has a horrible record. The husband and wife have of the house next door. Does this mean anything? I don't know. You know, how long ago was that RSO issued? You know, some people have that for the rest of their life, whether they're doing. Hold on, you're on speaker. You're on live.
You just see what happened?
What happened?
Okay, hold on. I gotta read this to you.
Yeah, because people are talking about something in chat that I'm a little confused about.
Okay, hold on. You're just gonna have to just give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
This is from Alexandria. Fucking shit. Okay. Breaking, Chief Huff just confirmed Sarah Wondra, an occupant of the home they are excavating, may have had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report it. The credible lead came from someone else inside the home.
Wow.
Okay. This is from that news reporter.
Gotcha. Now the question
one more.
would be,
Hold on. One more.
Didn't she have roommates?
Yes, 2.
And when did those roommates move out?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hold on, I got one more.
Because if there's only 2 occupants in that home and one person in the home spilled the beans, then it kind of alludes that the male half, the husband half, is squawking like a duck in jail.
He said they believe more people have knowledge of this and will be seeking out those people. Her arraignment is at 1:30 today in Payette County.
Yeah. I'm curious what's going to happen. I bet you she gets no bond. I hope she gets no bond. But even her husband's got a bond and can't even afford to bond out.
So Chief Huff just confirmed Sarah Wondra, an occupant of the home they are excavating, may have had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report it. The credible lead came from someone else inside the home.
Yeah.
So someone in that home reported that she had knowledge of the death of Michael.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling there's something with these roommates because the roommates aren't there now.
Yeah.
So I have a funny feeling that, the roommates, if they weren't involved, but they may have been involved and she may have found, I just think it's wholly odd that she's the only one charged in connection with this boy right now. Even her husband's not even been charged with one thing related to this boy.
I don't know. They're looking. Maybe they're looking for those. It says they're planning to seek them out.
That might have been why Brandy lost it. Maybe it was because the other neighbors may have a hand. We don't know. We don't know.
Mm.
But I have to think that the neighbors that, they're right there watching their other neighbors get their yard dug up. So it's not like a state secret that there's going to be some sharks swarming. Video is on Twitter, Betty. Okay. Got it. All right, Justice. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Love you,
Bye-bye.
baby. Bye-bye. So a lot of stuff. We are all over YouTube. I bet we are. But the one thing that they can't dispute is the fact that, quite frankly, my batting average is pretty damn good. When we were out in front of Gabby Petito's house, everything we said is what Gabby Petito's family is suing the Laundrie family for. When we were out in Utah, we came across the name of the person that is responsible for the double homicide of Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner and turned that name in to law enforcement. That's something that other creators can't say they've done. We were out there with Colin Knapp and Kathleen Moore, and we pointed where she would most likely be. And a neighbor went back there and found her. That's something other creators can never say. You know what they try to say? They try to say that we planted a water bottle. That has been confirmed false. Even Nerdy Addict himself has confirmed that to be false. So again, our batting average is pretty damn good. You didn't see me on the front porch of Brandy's home with my bullhorn, but you did see me in front of Leilani's house with my bullhorn. You did see me out in Rogersville, Tennessee with my bullhorn. There's a reason. There is a reason. So again, this is serious. We need to be wrapping this family with love and words of encouragement. Love and words of encouragement. They got a raw deal. They're dealing a living nightmare. And quite frankly, YouTube can do better. YouTube can do better. What they put this family through without a scintilla of information is next to disgusting. And there's a lot of people out there that beat up this family that's got a lot of words that they're going to have to eat. And I hope and pray that they come forward and apologize to this family. I do. This family deserves the apology that some of you guys did to this family. So, Sarah Wondra, let's see. Charges of death, failed to notify or delay notification of death. So she's being charged with a felony, statute 119-4301A3. So it is horrifically sad. That is correct, Heaven 57. This is sad. And we should have done more for this family. By the time I got there and decided to go out there to get the information, you know, I don't know if maybe us walking around the community may have prompted somebody to pick up the phone and call. Who knows? I can only say that we did the best we could. That it was very apparent when we got there that this family literally had nothing to do with the disappearance of their child. If I did not know that 100% when I got there, I knew that by the time I left. Dolly and I worked very hard to let the world know that this family wasn't responsible. My stuff was delayed, but Dolly got his stuff out fairly quickly about where we went, where we searched. But I can tell you that based upon the conversations I had with the neighbors, there was none of the signals, the red flags in Michael Vaughn's case that we get in a lot of the other children cases, especially when it comes to the parents. They just weren't. What people were doing was taking every little word they said and pulled it apart and made it sound like something that it wasn't, instead of actually having some factual information to base that on. And I just think that was, it was sad. And, you know, all this information comes into you. And there's a lot of times when I doubted myself. You know, that's why I quit talking about the case altogether, is because I didn't want to blame a family that didn't have nothing to do with it. But there were so many people out there saying, oh, well, look at this and look at that I had to shut it off. I had to shut it off. And I made the decision to go out there and find out the information for myself. But I promise you, when we got out there, if there was any scintilla of thought that this family did it, it was erased. It was erased just by the neighbors and neighborhood account of what happened that day alone. It was erased. There was no possibility. And now we're finding out some grim reality, and we just need to embrace Brandy and put our loving arms around her, virtually and otherwise, because she has been straight through hell. And anybody that has anything crappy to say about Brandy, or Tyler for that fact, needs to be just shouted out. You know, like, enough's enough. Law enforcement has told us that they're not the focus of their investigation. Law enforcement come out and said that this was an abduction. When do we stop believing law enforcement? Every time I say something that hasn't been confirmed by mainstream media or law enforcement, I'm shouted out that I'm a liar. But let them attack a mom that lost her freaking kid, and you don't need a scintilla of receipt or evidence to bash an entire family when they're already going through straight hell. Just saying. Welcome to the streets of YouTube. So there's definitely some other people that knew about this. I'm interested in finding out, but I have to be honest with you. The Starkeys next door, which do, for the sake of paper, does not look like, it seems like they would have been the ones having their yard dug up as opposed to the neighbors. So is there a possibility that those neighbors knew each other? Well, in all fairness, as some people may denounce some of the tactics JLR used, he went from talking to a guy that didn't know the neighbors to finding out that not only did they know the neighbors, he's got a key to their house, he watches their cat, he does a mechanical work on their vehicles, and purchased a vehicle from the neighbors that are having their yard dug up. So, you know, he does have a way of talking to people. His voice is very soothing and calming, and it has people open up to them. Was that tactful or not? You know, I would have done the same thing, unfortunately. And, you know, that it's just part of this job. You know, if you want to get down to the bottom of it, you're not scared of picking up the phone and making a phone call. Why didn't I do it? Because I was already beat to the punchline. And many of you guys know I was taking the day off yesterday. I didn't have time to deal with it. I spoke to literally one person all day yesterday, and my heart broke. You know, my heart broke. And I can tell you, me and this person are on the same page. And, you know, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for everything that they're going through, everything they're having to witness. And and things of that nature. But if you want to ask, would I have done it? If I was actually awake and this was all breaking, I would have picked up the phone. I'd have been the one that broke that. And I would have had Brandy pissed off at me. Unbeknownst, because it's just part of what I do. But, and I never want to step on toes, especially victims and victims' families. So it is just one of those things. But anyways, God bless Brandy, Tyler, Grandpa, your daughter, all the people that worked around the clock to bring his face to YouTube in a responsible way. I mean, God bless each and every one of you, whether I see eye to eye with you or not. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with petty personal issues. It has to do with these cases and these victims. And more importantly, the victims' families when they're not the suspects. And in this case, it was, maybe the first 200 days you could possibly, stretch that Brandy or Tyler had something to do with it. But after law enforcement came out and said that this was an abduction, we should have turned the page and started looking at it the way law enforcement did. And that's what we chose to do. When they came out and said that there is no possibility that this family, that they're looking into this family, that they're searching elsewhere. When I heard that, that's when I made my plane ticket to go out there, because clearly this family was getting the raw shake and could use some help. And that's what I went out there to do, because many people know what I represent. And if any family, if I can go out there and say this family is not responsible, I'm going to do that, especially when they are getting literally their ass handed to them for literally nothing. They've already had the worst thing happen to them in the world. There's only a few people listening to them. I'm listening to law enforcement. This family needed help, and that's what we did. So it is what it is. But our batting average is pretty good here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Don't forget that. If you guys would like the news, would like it, I do provide a lot of opinions and commentary and what I've come across and what I believe. I don't keep that a secret from you guys, whether you guys are right on point with me or not. But that's the beauty of this channel. You don't have to be on point with me. The only request that I have is that you're respectful. I point out now, if somebody's nasty to me, don't get your feelings hurt when I'm nasty right back to you. That's how we roll up in here. But I would like people to express their viewpoints and do it responsibly. And I don't like them being attacked for having those viewpoints. We can say what we mean what we say, but we do not have to say it mean. If anybody's going to criticize, critique, or anything, a creator, you're allowed to be as nice to creators as you want to be. And you're even allowed to discuss your disdain for a creator, but in a respectable manner. If anybody's going to dog a creator, this is my house. It better be me. Just saying. Just saying. Let the dogging come from the bullhorn. How terrible this mother had to get this news from you calling the police like you are law enforcement. Police do not want the public. It's public record, Robin. I don't really give a rat's ass what you think, right? I appreciate you being part of this channel. I appreciate you being, you conversating in this channel. But I doubt the mother got the news from me, first and foremost. I got the news from somebody else, right? By the time it gets to me, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it. However, the person I've been communicating with had just found this out. Big difference. Big difference. It seems to me that J.D. Huff has been keeping this family apprised of everything, Robin. But if I want to make a call, I will make a flipping call. I'm not going to call Robin Lennon and say, hey, do I have your permission to make this call today? No. You don't like what I'm doing? Trust me, I'm not struggling for views. If you don't like what I'm doing and do not support it, then why are you watching this channel? You're watching this channel because you get up-to-date information. You get factual information and not a lot of fluff. That's what you get. You've been in this chat many times. You've supported this chat many times. And yes, I have a good relationship with this family. So respectfully, mind your own damn business and know what you're talking about. Okay? Because at the end of the day, there was only a few YouTubers that went out there to help. And I happened to be one of them. So let's quit acting like you know this family and quit acting like you represent this family and quit acting like you can tell me what the hell I can and cannot do in America. Because all it's going to do is piss me off. And whether Robin's a troll or not, I don't give a rat's ass about that either. Clip that. And you've not even spoken. Like, these people act like they, at the end of the day, it was, if they really want to be factual about it, the reason why people are calling all over the place, it's not people that are associated with me. It's because the news went out there and said they're digging up the yard for 1102 Red Wing, right? So, sorry, there's a lot of sleuths out here that are going to sit there and look it up and check it with the RSO and find out that an RSO lives at 1100. I didn't even know this. I didn't know this until that video came out. Had no clue. I trust me, JLR didn't call me up and say, hey, did you know about this? I'm going to run a video on it. Is that okay? He didn't call and ask Bullhorn Betty permission. I haven't even talked to him. So it's like, it's cray-cray. And people care, that's why. Yes, people do care. Yeah, there's a few people that like to, in all fairness, like even Jay is for Justice. I love her podcast. She doesn't really go out to too many places herself, but I can tell you that I doubt that if anybody tells me, Brandy tells me to stop one more time, I'm going to block every single person that says that. Literally block them, because you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm allowed to speak. I don't call people and ask them. When have you ever seen me pick up the phone and call any family to ask them permission to talk about their case? Never. Never. And actually telling people to be kinder to Brandy. Why would Brandy tell me not to do that? This is what she's been begging me to express. So just curious. Maybe you need to get your facts together first. Okay? She wanted people to come out and tell people that her and her family had nothing to do with it. We took a trip, thousands of dollars. Now, mind you, I got literally, my costs were, I think, 12, 13, maybe, no, with the whole plane issue, ended up being $1,500 out of my pocket. I literally collected for that trip right about $672 to help sponsor that trip. I came out of the pocket that much money, almost $900 to $1,000 of my own money came out of my pocket to go out there and help that family. How many other creators that are bashing Bullhorn Betty spent that kind of money out of their own pocket? You can't say you want this person to talk about it, but you don't want this person to talk about what it is really that simple. I would bet the last thing she's worried about is YouTube right now. Exactly. I doubt right now, she's probably on the phone with law enforcement. She's probably trying to, I pray, she's probably going to reach out to some of the people that she's befriended that are YouTubers just to, talk to them, purge some of this stuff off them. I hope they respect that. And obviously I believe they do have the integrity to do that. But, I hope she's careful, because everybody is like, I don't know. I quit. I have trust issues. I don't trust hardly anybody on YouTube anymore. I don't think what Brandy said earlier was meant for you. I think it was about JLR. Right. Yeah. And that's exactly what I was saying, because everybody knows what happened. Again, JLR, in all fairness, has rubbed some of the people in that family the wrong way when he came out with a community post or something about Lana, the lady that was the spokesperson that's been really helping this family and getting some information and stuff like that. So, there's just, I think that there's a sour taste in their mouth for him out the gate. I don't know. Again, I'm not that involved in the comings and goings of either party that are being discussed here. So I don't know what you're talking about, honey. I'm sorry, but regardless, I do what I do with integrity, and I'm confident with that. Oh, absolutely. Who is this truth seeker? Let's see what they have to say here. Did I pass? There's just so many people writing in the chat right now. I don't think Brandy. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think that's what you were talking about. Yeah. So people, as I say, people are so mean. Leave Betty alone. She is helping the family. Yep. And Brandy was live and very clear who she was talking about. Yeah, and I doubt it was me. Because again, she met with me. She met with me and Dolly. Okay, she didn't meet with some other creators and things of that nature, but what she did do was meet with me and Dolly. And she gave us signs. And let me tell you, we did everything we told her we were going to do. BHB isn't the person who notified the family, and Brandy didn't hear it from this channel. If you don't like how she found out, take it up with the creator who told her on a live. Yeah. Brandy needed to hear this info. It's sad reality, but she should have heard about it from a caseworker yesterday, not via YouTube. That said, Betty did the right thing by utilizing public information. Absolutely. And I didn't call neighbors. I didn't call her neighbor. I didn't call, I used the proper channels to acquire the information in a very a good way. And like I said, if I was up yesterday and all this stuff was breaking, it's kind of hard because in the grand scheme of things, I would have probably done the same thing if I was, firing on all cylinders yesterday. Before I knew it, I mean, literally how things transpired is I heard this, I heard that. Next thing I know, I'm getting tagged or somebody sent me a video and an email. I promptly forwarded it over to the family. And, that's really how everything kind of transpired. I had literally no hand in it and just happened to have it sent to me from even a third party. It wasn't even by the person that created the video. It was by a third party that stumbled across it and said, hey. And I watched it and I'm like, oh, shit. But at the end of the day, I forwarded it over to the family so they knew what was going on. That's all I can do. Yeah, I know. I want to be at that courthouse too, because this is starting to be very problematic. But anyways, guys, I ran over my 3 hours. I need to let another creator come on. I'm done talking for a little while. And again, just horrible, horrible news. This is not turning out with what we wanted it to turn out. I am hopeful that whoever did anything to Michael Monkey Vaughn pays fully. And I pray that his family, as well as he, gets justice. I know that this is going to be a very hard time for the family. They've been living in pure hell. And I think the thought of knowing he was going to come home helped them keep going on. This news has got to be worse than the news the day she came home and realized her son was missing. And I'm getting goosebumps and I'm about ready to cry again for this family because this is heartbreaking. And she has been through pure hell and she still has managed to keep going. So if you guys think about it, this has got to be harder than the day she found out her son went missing. So please keep that in mind. Make sure that people in other channels are being respectful of this family. She has gone through enough. She doesn't need to deal with any more shenanigans here on YouTube. So with that, guys, God bless. Be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. This is just horrible. A safe neighborhood. Okay, I can't express that enough. This is a safe neighborhood. Many people that I've spoken with, guys, first of all, Robin, I just want to make sure you're clear. I never said that the family found out from my show. There is one person I deal with, I confer with, that was just finding out about this show. Now, do I know whether law enforcement has told the family about this? I would presume that they have if they charged this lady with this crime. So I'm not sure, again, Robin, I'm not sure if she found out, but I can guarantee that I most likely am not the first person that put this out first. And secondly, I got this information from somebody else, which prompted the call to the police department to find out, or the sheriff's department to find out if she's been charged and what she's been charged for. I took the proper channels. Okay. And if law enforcement has not told Brandy of this lady's charges prior to this, that's not my fault. Okay? They shouldn't be releasing stuff to the public without letting the family know, in my opinion. That's not my fault. But when I call up for public records, they're required by law to provide those to me. Yeah, and you as well. Any person that calls up to a police department and asks what a charge for an inmate is, that's public information. They can't say, oh, I can't tell you. They have statutes against that. They have to tell you. So anyways, with that, guys, God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for spending your time, 3 hours with me. We've had a lot of people, over 15,000 people have watched this live today. 15,000 people have watched this live today. So please don't forget to like this, subscribe, and share. We do break some news on here. The question is, why didn't I reach out to Brandy? First of all, I don't have Brandy's number. I can reach out to her on Facebook. And she's asked for privacy during this time and has asked people not to reach out to her. So why in the world would I reach out to her? Okay? She's asked for privacy during this time. I'm not trying to add to her burden. So anyways, with that, have a great day and God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.